the Saturday night session. For everyone that enjoyed the Friday night session, you're back. You have the Baller Pass. This is going to be another fun-filled session for you guys as well. The new attendees to the festival, please enjoy. We got a bunch of stuff lined up for you. We're standing here on 1350 Kelly Lake Road, the original where we launched Stack. Right now, it's more for R&D, test batch, recipe formulation. We have these barrels filled up with different beers that we're going to be releasing this June, July, and August. Our ongoing sour series, so we're aging these bad boys. So please stay tuned for the CyberBrew people. If you love sour beer, they're coming your way. Troy?
Yeah, so for those of you who are new to this today, who didn't join in yesterday, in your packages you'll have your 12 beverages. We highly suggest that you drink them with the festival as it goes on, as there'll be sampling seminars for each of the drinks. So drink them in order if you can. We gave you guys the 2 glassware so that you guys can share if you're with someone else, which is awesome. Now there's a few sheets of paper in there that you'll want to read. There's trivia that's going to take place tonight. There's going to be science experiments. There's going to be music. So yeah, have a look at those pages if you haven't already and familiarize yourself with what's going to happen this evening. Now, one little thing though, there's going to be a food segment that's coming up a little later. So there's a little recipe / instruction sheet there for you. So maybe get that stuff prepared. It'll only take a couple minutes. It's a really basic recipe and you're gonna love it. Chef Nick's gonna walk you through it. Now, the last thing that I'm gonna say for you new people is we're gonna start off tonight's festival with some stuff that was already shown yesterday. So you Baller Pass people, bear with us for another 10-15 minutes. We're gonna re-show how beer is made and we're gonna show you guys how to score beer, how to properly taste beer. We're gonna get that out of the way. So don't start your drinking just yet. I know you're eager to jump into it.
But they can drink something else.
They can drink something else if they want. Just stay away from your box because we will start the night with our Port de la Fare, but that's not for a few minutes. So yeah, without further ado, here's some videos from our head brewer, Brendan McDonald, and from Jordan St. John.
Brendo.
All right, enjoy everybody.
Brendo.
Woo!
Hey guys, it's Brendan McDonald here from Stack Brewing, and we're super excited to bring you a visual tour of our facility. This is going to be a little bit different than your typical tour. We're actually going to go into detail about how we go from grain to glass, and hopefully show you guys a little bit about what some of the equipment does here. So the first thing we got to talk about is the main ingredients. There's 4 main ingredients that make a beer. We have water, barley, hops, and yeast. This in my hand is just a cup full of barley. And mainly what we're looking for is a fermentable source of sugar. So a good example is if you're developing wine, you're going to use grapes. If you're developing cider, you're going to use apples. And then the main process is just converting the sugars from those ingredients into a fermentable source, which creates alcohol. So obviously with beer, like I mentioned, we're going to be using grain. So the first vessel when I come into my day is this guy right here. It's called a mash tun. And this is where I'm going to soak a bunch of the grain and basically convert all that sugar into a water-soluble source. So in the beginning of my day, I'll mill up a bunch of grain depending on the recipe. If we're making like a lager, it's just going to be straight, super clean, easy barley. And if we're going to make something similar to a Guinness, we're going to use a different array of roasted malts. So all those malts get kind of ground up and fed through the auger system at the top and put into this vessel here, which then I add a certain amount of hot water depending on the amount of grain. So then obviously this will be closed. The bottom of this kind of acts like a spaghetti strainer. It's a slotted bottom, so no grain can kind of get through the vessel. And basically it'll sit there soaking in hot water for up to an hour. Now that process allows us to convert all the sugars in the grain into a water-soluble source. And then from there, I'll transfer all the liquid from this mash tun vessel over to our boil kettle. As mentioned earlier, because of the false bottom, none of the grain will get through and you'll be left with just clean liquid at the end of it all. Once it's in the boil kettle, we're going to turn that guy on and we're going to boil it for upwards to an hour. A couple reasons for this. One is certain sugar concentration. You know, certain sugar equals certain amounts of alcohol. So if we have more sugar, we're going to have a higher alcohol source at the end of the day. Also sterilization. You know, you never know anything picked up between the mash tun to the kettle or any things that may be living on the grain itself. As soon as they're boiled, completely contamination free, and we're good to go. Another ingredient that we use in many of our beers, well basically all beers, is hops. There you go, nice shot of some Citra, beautiful smelling. These are in pellet form just for ease of access. And you're gonna be adding pellets to the boil depending on what style of beer you're making. All beer does use hops at the end of the day, but if you're using a lager, you're just gonna have a nice, simple, small addition, or opposed to if you're developing an IPA, there's gonna be a whole bunch of hops in here. Basically giving you that aroma, that bitterness, and that flavor. So basically once we boil it, we get to our sugar content that we're happy with, we add our hops. Now we basically have a substance that's called wort. That's gonna be what we add yeast to create our beer. So now that this is boiled, we have about 100 degrees Celsius wort in here, and I'm gonna send it through this guy right here. This is called the heat exchanger. This is basically just gonna have water in one outlet and the wort coming through another, and basically that's gonna take the wort from 100 degrees Celsius down to whatever our fermentation pitching is. So as you can see over here, if you wanna take a shot of this tank here, this guy's sitting at 14 degrees. This is Nickel City, one of our lagers. So I would have taken the wort from 100 degrees down to 14 and transferred it by hose via the heat exchanger right into the fermenter. Once it's in the fermenter, I'll go up top, I'll pitch our yeast into it, and then basically we wait. If you're making an ale, you're looking at 2 to 3 weeks for that yeast to convert all the sugars into alcohol. This guy, Nickel City, is a lager. They're fermented a little bit colder and they take a little bit longer. So this guy is probably gonna take around 3 weeks to a month to fully ferment. Once it's fully fermented, these things have glycol jackets on them, so I could set it to 1 degree Celsius. It's gonna get super cold, nice and chilled. And then as you can see down here, there's a conical bottom. And all the sediment and anything that may have got picked up during the transfer is gonna drop out of solution, and then I can dump it right here. So once it's cold, it's fully fermented. In a sense, you have beer in this tank now. It's ready to go, it's just not carbonated or filtered. So, you know, I'll bring you on over to the other side of the building here. And then this is where all beer ends up eventually. This unit right here is our filter. So, you know, some of our beers are super clear, like our Nickel City, our Impact, our Saturday Night. And some of our beers are super hazy, like this Panache I'm drinking right now. Cheers, guys. So when it comes to Panache, we'll, you know, let that sit in the tank, let it crash out, and send it directly over to one of these vessels. These are bright tanks. If it's our Nickel City or something cleaner, as mentioned before, we're gonna send it through the filter unit and then into the bright tank, so we have a nice clear product. These vessels are very similar to the holding tanks we shown earlier, except they're always cold, you know, 2 degrees Celsius, nice and chilled, and they have a carbonation stone in them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug CO2 directly into this vessel, pump a bunch of it in for a period of 1 to 2 days, and at the end of that 2-day mark, we're gonna have a fully carbonated product. So then from there, you know, now we have beer fully attenuated with alcohol, all of our hops, everything good to go, and a carbonated beverage. So from there, how do we get it to you guys? Well, come on over, Troy, and I'll show you. If you want to take a quick skim, these are some of the cans. You know, these are unlabeled ones. But basically, once they're in the bright tank, all of our beers find their way over to our canning line here. Again, similar, just hooked up by a hose. We have a nice 5-head can filler here. These first 5 are just CO2 purge lines. These next ones are beer fill lines. It basically runs automatically for the most part, except the guy on the end who has to pick up all the cans and throw them into a box. So basically that's the gist of how we're gonna get from grain to glass process-wise. And then I'll show you guys real quickly one of our storage facilities where we house majority of all of our beer. So and here's the fridge. As you may know, here at Stack, we have a wide variety of brands. So there's always, you know, things from Panache, Nickel City, Shattercone, the works, really. Yeah, and then from there, this is where it all ends up to stay nice and cold and chilled, ready for you guys to pick up. So, cheers, guys, and I hope you have a good time.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Troy with Sean here, who's apparently trying to beef up for MicroBrew with all the drinks he's gonna have tonight. We're here in front of the former St. Joe's General Hospital in Sudbury, where he was born, where I was born, where many of you watching today were born. Also beside beautiful Ramsey Lake. He's doing a lot of push-ups. But we're here to just tell you that this building was painted recently. Some people think it's an eyesore. A lot of Siberians love it. Keep doing those push-ups, Sean. Without further ado, though, here's Jordan St. John to explain some beer stuff for you.
Hi there. My name is Jordan St. John, and the people of the Northern Ontario MicroBrew Festival have asked me to explain to you how to taste beer. They want me to do it in about 5 minutes. Why do they choose me to do this? I'm in Toronto, I'm not in Northern Ontario. That seems like a ridiculous proposition on the face of it. Well, I am pretty good at tasting beer. I drank so much beer, in fact, that they gave me a school. I'm the head of the beer certificate at George Brown College, and our classes are now online, so I figured, hey, why not let the great people of Northern Ontario know about that? I can also teach you how to taste beer as well. Now, you're from Ontario, and that means that you know how to drink beer. You've been doing it since you were 19. You don't need to think a whole lot about that. It's basically open beer, drink beer, and then you're done. It's really straightforward. However, if you're tasting beer, there are things that you probably need to know that you might not know. The first thing is that you're going to want to drink your beer out of a glass. Now, you've been sent 12 to 24 cans, depending on how many sessions you're participating in, and that means that you could just drink 12 to 24 beers directly out of the can. That'd be fine. You'd probably have a lot of fun doing it. But you could also maybe have fun learning how to taste beer. So we're going to deal with that. I've got a can of beer here. It is a Rising River Saison, which is from Eastbound Brewing, because I don't have any beer from Northern Ontario at the moment. And the glass that I've chosen for this is this glass. This is from Toronto Brewing. It's a snifter, and that seems real fancy. But ultimately what you want is something that's going to make this easier for you. You know, this glass, it's wider at the bottom than it is at the top. And beer is great for lazy people. What this glass does is basically focus the aroma towards you. Now, you've seen wine people, they're in restaurants, they're going like, swirling the glass like that. You don't have to do that with beer. The wine people, they're trying to introduce oxygen into the wine so that it noses better. It's easier for them to smell. In this case, it's got CO2, so it's just going to push the aroma right towards your face. And that's great. The glass, the shape of it, is going to focus it towards you. And depending on where you smell the glass, you might get different things. You know, beer has different components in it. There's barley, there's different kinds of grain, hops as well. They're flowers, they're a little bit floral. Sometimes they've got citrus or tropical fruit characters. You've got yeast as well. Yeast is going to produce like orchard fruit characters, maybe some banana, that kind of thing. Maybe some phenolic character that's a little like pie spice or cloves. So there's all sorts of stuff going on here. And you get them by paying attention to different parts of the glass when you're nosing it. And there are different ways people do this. I've actually seen people do this in competition. They call that the drive-by. It's like a Doppler. It doesn't really work. You just want to put your nose close to the glass, and you might want to try sniffing in different ways. Like one long sniff, that's probably going to be okay, but you might want to sniff like a golden retriever, like a whole bunch of them in succession, real quick, like, yeah, that might be good too. Doesn't really have a method that works for everybody. You're going to find something that works for you. What I can tell you is that because the CO2 is lifting the aroma out of the beer, the top of the glass is going to have different aromas than the bottom of the glass. The top is going to be volatile stuff like hops and yeast. They kind of get lifted by the carbonation out of the glass and towards your face up here. In this case, there's a little bit of banana and a little bit of clove because this is a Saison. It's a Belgian style of beer, and sometimes they will do that. They use ale yeast, and they create these flavors and aromas with that. There's not a huge amount of hop character, really. There might be a little edge of citrus. There might be a little bit of black pepper, and that's pretty mild. Let's see what there is for malt. Malt's going to be down at the bottom. All the malt stuff, it's like residual sugars and proteins, and that means that it's in solution in the liquid. So you're going to get that closer to the liquid, which would be the bottom aperture. It's a little bit of rye. I mean, it's got some spiciness to it. Maybe that pepper that was coming from the hops was actually from the grain. It's got a little bit of rye bread baguette kind of character. Really interesting stuff. It's pretty well made. Dave's a good brewer. I mean, you guys have fine brewers in Northern Ontario as well. Beer is kind of technological, you know. The brewers have to choose the ingredients that go into it. So the brewmasters that you're getting beer from today, they spent a lot of time working on these recipes. Basically, they've taken thousands of years to get barley to the point where they can kiln it so it has all these different things it can do. We've taken a long time to breed hops. There are different varieties that use, different things are done with them. And also, you've got these yeast strains that do all sorts of interesting things as well. And what a brewer is doing when he's making beer, or she's making beer, is choosing these elements to put in front of you so that you can appreciate them, not just drink them directly out of the can, although that is also fun. What I want you to do, most of all, is slow down, pay a little bit of attention to the beer that you're drinking, and see if you can pick out some nuance and see if you can pick out some flavor. I'm not giving you homework. This is a beer festival. Just take a little while and enjoy it. Stop and smell the roses is actually part of my curriculum. You got to make sure that you understand what you're drinking. It'll make your life better. It'll allow you to appreciate the thing just that little bit more. Well, I hope you enjoy the festival, and I'll be back in a little while to tell you about the judging sheet that they've supplied you with. Hi there, and welcome back. Now, when you open the box with all of your beer in it, you're going to find that there's a sheet in there that is going to allow you to judge this beer festival. There are a lot of beer festivals that do this. There's usually a best in show. And the thing is, at the Session Festival in Southern Ontario, or maybe at like Mondial de la Bière in Quebec, that information is collated. And with all of the other people who attend the beer festival, you get to make up your mind about what the best beer in show is. And this is a little bit like that, except for the fact that we're not going to be collating the data. You get to decide what your favorite beer is. And that's kind of an important thing to be able to do. You've got at least 12 beers there and maybe 24, so you're going to have to take this really seriously if you want to keep track of it. And the beer festival has provided you with a score sheet. It comes up to about 100 points total, and each category has different scores. So let's walk through it really simply, just to make sure that you understand the idea behind this. First of all, we've got appearance. Appearance makes up 10 points. Now, depending on the style of beer that you're trying, it might be a little bit different. Hefeweizen is probably going to be cloudy. If you got a hazy IPA, that's damn sure going to be cloudy. It's going to have so many hops in it that you're not going to be able to see through it at all. But for a lager, that would probably be clear. And what you're doing is assessing these beers based on the appropriateness of their appearance. You want to judge them based on color, based on filtration, based on how much it makes you happy to look at them, basically. It's going to be pretty easy to give points for that out of 10. The next category, though, is a little bit more difficult. That's smell, and that's also 10 points. Now, aroma in beer is really a complicated matter, and it's going to depend entirely on your preference. And because you are the arbiter of this competition, that means that you get to decide what you like. Whether you've got like a stout with roasty chocolate, coffee, molassesy kind of qualities to it, or whether you've got an IPA with some tropical fruit and maybe a little bit of citrus, or maybe even a little dank resinous character. I don't know if you guys have cannabis in Northern Ontario, but that's sure caught on big down here. There's all sorts of variety in terms of aroma for beer. It could be floral, it could be hay-like. Just make a note of the aromas as you experience them and rate them according to your preference out of 10 points. Now the next one is taste. That makes up 30, and that's heavily correlated with aroma. Hopefully what's going to happen in a really good beer is that the aroma is going to follow through onto the palate. Palate is spelled P-A-L-A-T-E. That's because it's about what you ate, pal. It makes a lot of sense. Taste is going to be subjective as well. Maybe you like things that are roasty and chocolatey. Maybe you like sour beers. Maybe there's some fruit beers in the package. Maybe you've got the ability to separate out your preferences. Maybe you're just looking for balance. These are all possibilities, and that is going to be awarded up to 30 points. So that's a really good place to think about awarding like a majority of the points. That's going to make a big difference. Aftertaste, that's 20 points. How long the finish on the beer is. With your New England IPAs, it'll probably be relatively short. With some of the stouts, some of the things with roasted malt, it could continue, 30 seconds. Beer exists on a chronological timeline. Basically, from the beginning of the sip to the end of the sip, different things happen in sequence. So you get to pay attention to that. And also how bitter the finish is, how dry the finish is, whether there's like a residual sweetness that lingers on your palate. That's aftertaste, and that's worth 20 points. And finally, you've got drinkability. Now, all liquids are drinkable. Some of them are more drinkable than others. You probably don't want to go directly for the battery acid. That would probably rate a 1 on drinkability, because it's not a repeatable thing. With the New England IPAs, they're probably quite drinkable. Depending on your preference, you might think of things as being smoother or easier to drink, or maybe a little harder to drink. Maybe some stouts might be a little astringent. It really depends on your personal preference. And again, you're dealing with a total score of 30 for drinkability. So let's see, that's appearance is 10, and smell is 10, taste is 30, aftertaste is 20, drinkability is 30. Okay, so that's 100. They didn't tell me there was going to be math. Which brings me to my next point. You really want to make notes on this. You got to write these things down. Because if you don't write them down, it's going to get very difficult after you've had 5 beers to come up with the math on this. I tell you what, bring a calculator to your beer festival. Your phone probably has a calculator on it. That's going to help you, especially towards the end of the evening.
Well, we're getting ready for a hell of a night, Sudbury Saturday night, as we call it. For those of you across Ontario, welcome. For those of you in Sudbury, you know how it is. Actually, it's funny because I'm here in front of our canning line, where we're canning some of our Sudbury Saturday night. Currently, we've got some cases here and all that jazz. You can find that at the LCBO. It's always been a favorite amongst the local community here. And yeah, so what was I talking about again? Oh yes, we're here to talk about beer. And our first beer that we're going to be giving to you tonight is Port de la Fere. And Port de la Fere, Brennan has a hell of a story to talk about it. We're very proud of that guy. So, time to drink, everybody! Enjoy!
Hey guys, we're back again with another beer for the MicroBrew Fest. This will probably be the first beer you guys are enjoying from us, so let's kick things right off with our Port de la Fere. So a little background on this beer. One of the reasons why we named it was in 1902, the Count of Sudbury, as it's been quoted, came to Sudbury on a mining exploration, and when he arrived here, he was shocked at what he's seen, possibly not happy, because he wrote back to his wife stating, is this La Porte de la Fere, which translates to the gates of hell. So we really wanted to pay homage to that. We thought it was a pretty funny folklore story and decided to really name a beer after it. And this is a perfect example of that style of beer. Really, it's dark, it's ruby, it's bold. It's a very old school traditional style that dates back over 600 years. And bière de garde is French for beer to hold. So typically back in the day when these beers were being produced, they were meant to be stored for a long period of time. So very shelf stable, very high alcohol obviously to allow it to be such shelf stable. And yeah, you're gonna get kind of a big range in these beers. We really wanted ours to be deep ruby red, a lot of notes of kind of that date fig, sweet undertones, and that kind of beautiful warmth you're gonna find from an 8% beer. So even just jumping right into the canner, we threw a little bit of Easter eggs on here. You have the mining, as I said, pays homage to him coming here on a mining trip. There's some of the script that he would have written to his wife, as well as some fiery embers at the bottom. So let's jump right into this beer and we'll talk a little bit about it. Perfect. So right off the bat, you can see as it's pouring, it's super, it almost comes across beige, but in the light, it's a nice ruby kind of red color. Filtered super clean, nice and dark. Overall, very nice to look at. Jumping into the nose, definitely, as I mentioned before, you get a lot of that kind of burnt molasses, kind of burnt caramel aromas from some of the malts we use. A little bit of brown sugar in there as well. You get a lot of date and fig notes as well, so some of that like kind of darker dried fruit. That's kind of the main. And you do get some of the spice. So we do use a Belgian style yeast for this, so you are going to get some sort of pepper, a little bit of clove notes in the background, and balances really well with those aromatics we mentioned earlier. So let's dig right into it. Yeah, so definitely on the sweeter side. As I mentioned, we do use brown sugar in brewing this, so that does come through a little bit, some of that sweetness. A little bit of caramel malt in there also helps accentuate that, but overall just that date, fig, prune, molasses, a little bit of warmth from the alcohol you're hitting in the back of your throat, but super clean and easy going, so really enjoyable. This is a typical ale, so it is fermented warm, around 2 to 3 week turnaround, and then we cold crash it and send it off to the filter to get that crispy clear look we're going for, and yeah. All right, and for some of the home brewers out there, we'll actually dive into a little bit about what makes this beer what it is, how we obtain that color, that flavor profile. I know I touched on it a little bit, but we'll dive right in. So mainly Pilsner malt for most of our beers to get our alcohol content. As mentioned, we do use brown sugar to help boost that. Brown sugar is mostly fermentable, so it does help spike our alcohol content and give you that kind of clean warmth. Not in a lot of beers, but we do it in this one. I find it's pretty typical for the style. Then we use Caramel 60, which is going to give you that kind of butterscotch caramel kind of background sweetness. And then I've also changed this recipe to add the addition of Caramel 120. That's what's going to give you that big prune, date, fig undertones, and really help darken the color as well. I mean, those malts are super roasted to a degree that you really do get a lot of those flavors. And then for the yeast, like I said, we do use a Belgian yeast. It's T58, and that's going to bring out a lot of those spicy clove, coriander, orange peel, really depending on how you ferment it. But overall, just helps bring out the characters in this beer that everyone enjoys and loves. So cheers, guys, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Hi, my name is Sean Mayhew. I'm the founder of Stack Brewing here in Sudbury. Stack was founded 2012, but we opened in 2013, and the idea behind it was to bring craft beer to Northern Ontario and that kind of scene and culture. And just the love of craft beer, traveling, seeing other breweries, brew pubs and such, and wanting something like that in my hometown. Yeah, it was a quick growing phase. It was new, it was fresh at the time for Sudbury. So people kind of jumped on board and latched onto it, and it was a lot of energy, a lot of people were excited to see something different and new. Northern breweries, the sign is behind me, was in Sudbury for the longest while, Sudbury Malting Company prior to that. So there's always been beer in Sudbury, and people were excited to see the trend continue. The marketing kind of idea behind it was to tie in the area, some of the geology, some of the folklore, some of the stories you hear, kind of make fun of ourselves at the same time as well, and just to tie that in to market the area to the rest of Ontario and hopefully, like through awards and stuff like that, Canada. The awards are always fun to win recognition because it is a hard industry. It's up and down. There's very much a roller coaster. Always trying to put out your best product and stuff like that. And getting awards, recognition to kind of show that, hey, you guys kind of have an idea of what you're doing is always fun to be recognized that way. The idea behind the brew house here on Falconbridge was to kind of expand and grow the business, kind of make it a destination that you see some brew pubs and breweries. That was the kind of the premise behind it. Have people sit down, try the beer, grab something to eat, and just continue providing a cool atmosphere for the area. Hello everybody, welcome to Stack Brew House. The cameraman's wearing a mask, but for the purpose of this video, I'm not wearing a mask so you can hear me. So this is the entrance to the brew house. Right here, this is where we house a bit of merch, some t-shirts, hoodies, some toques. We have some glassware, some snacks. We've been working with Heartbeat Hot Sauce since basically our business has started at probably around the same time. So we've been carrying their hot sauce since their inception too. We work with Bay Meats as well as Thunder Bay for the jerky, some snacks, glassware. So the brew house here on Falconbridge opened in 2019. It took us about a year to kind of get the place built up and transfer some of the stuff from Kelly Lake, the original location, to Falconbridge. So 2019, I believe it was mid-August 2019 that the place opened. So we got some months before the COVID shutdown under our belts. But right here we have the bar. As you come in to your right, to your left, you walk in, we have the retail fridge, and then right here is where we have seating for the patrons. So down below, usually we have some 4 tops and some 2 tops. Over there we have a booth for 6 or 8 people during normal times. Some seats at the bar here as well. TV. And then we have more of a lounge section over here for patrons, where they want to come in, have a Friday night beer sampling, relax a bit. That's as well. Keep your eyes up. Don't let the voice down. This area is for employees only, but for today we're granting you guys special access. Follow me. Right here we have the prep area where we keep our dry goods, the salt, pepper, the various seasonings, our in-house mixes that we do, use with pastrami for our brisket, etc., etc. So we prep our meat right here. For this project on Falconbridge, we also purchased a Southern Pride smoker that we use to smoke a lot of our proteins, tomatoes for our homemade salsa, etc., etc. So this is where we fire in the logs, and we gotta put it on a timer, desired temperature, and yeah, we smoke away. Right here's the pass. Right here we have Chef Nick, who just showed up. He's getting ready for his day of exciting culinary adventures that he goes on. Wearing his mask. Very good, Nicholas. Very good. Yeah, standard issue kitchen. Nothing fancy on this side, other than the smoker. But again, we got like a grill for the chicken. Sometimes the steak. Our deep fryers. So on the top floor. Bottom floor, we're licensed for 50 patrons. On top floor, 55 in normal times. But based on whatever occupancy we're being dictated to follow, be it 50%, 25%, we change on the fly based on the mandate. But 55 and 50, so 105 total capacity is what we're licensed for. We have a private area over here for bookings. We can kind of set them off. Then with some all thread and some pipe, give it that industrial look. Here we have the northern side. It's zooming into my ear. That's all right. Okay, let's go take a look at the brewery again. Employees only, but for the virtual microbrew, special access. Here we have one of our walk-in coolers for the kitchen, Mr. Christopher Walk-in. Very intense looking individual, but with a very high IQ, supposedly. So we have some office space right here. Our canning machine, our cans. Getting ready to do some packaging tomorrow. Some nice fresh La Plush for Grocery and LC and everyone who wants it. Been running with the cast canning line. So far, been good. Good customer service from the boys in Calgary and girls. Right here we have the brewing facility. The boys are playing a little bit of the rap music, so let's turn this off just in case there's any cussing. will mind his peas and carrots. So Brendan gave the brew tour previous video or future video that's going to come. So what is it? Yeah, we have the brew system, the brewer's office right here, where he tracks everything. His spreadsheets. Oh, we don't want to show any of these award-winning recipes, everyone. There, that's Brendan's little secret that he's working on. So this is a lot of the, well, this is the brewer's second office. A lot of time I find him in here, sitting on a keg, having a beer, cooling off. Well, the boys are hard at work, and I'm trying not to get too dirty. I'm a desk jockey. I should say that. Okay, you ready? We'll do it again. Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you. The boys are hard at work, and we don't want to disturb them too much. But big thank you for everyone that bought tickets and are attending the virtual MicroBrew Festival. Thank you for supporting us this year. We wanted to do something, keep the MicroBrew Fest going, and thank you for your support in these trying times. Awesome. I'll let these boys get back to work. Cheers, guys.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are ready for a hell of a night. It's gonna get wild in here. We are pumped, the beers are flowing, the team is excited. I know that you're excited. So much hard work has come into making this event happen. We couldn't have done it without you, so we can't thank you guys enough. Big shout outs though to all the breweries who participated. I know that this means the world to us to have them part of our family, you know, in the comfort of your living room. So yeah, one of my favorite breweries on earth is out of the little town of Kenora, northwestern Ontario. Beautiful if you've never checked it out. The drive is unbelievable in the summertime. But yeah, Lake of the Woods, they've been making some phenomenal product for what feels like forever now, but like I can't speak their praises enough. So we've got cans of beer here, they've got cans of beer there, and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy Kenora's Pride, Lake of the Woods.
Good evening or afternoon, everybody. My name's Rob. I'm from Lake of the Woods Brewing Company here in Kenora, Ontario. We are a Northern Ontario brewery way up, way the heck up north. We're about 17 hours from Sudbury, huh?
Yeah, it's about that. We're going the other way. We're 2.5 from Winnipeg.
Right, yeah. We're not far from Winnipeg, Manitoba, right on the Trans-Canada Highway on beautiful Lake of the Woods. By the way, this is Josh Manzi. He is our head brewer. And we're going to chat with you tonight about a couple of beers. We're going to start out first with our Firehouse Ale. That is one of our original beers that we brewed. We opened in 2013. I'd say that's one of the first sort of beers we would consider a flagship in a way. I mean, it's brewed more seasonally now, but it's been around since pretty much the get-go, hey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was one of the three that were originally piloted before the doors even opened. I believe production batch, this was number 4 or something right around there. It's definitely one of the first. English nut brown, classic, just kind of shooting from the hip, nut brown style and stats. So hopefully what people are getting from it is a decent amount of chocolate balanced out with a bit of just a touch of toasty, definitely a lot of bready, and then just some good smooth, medium high body, medium low carbonation, and of course off-weight head and low head retention to match, and some classic English hops. We've got our Galena for a bittering and our East Kent Golding, of course, for an aroma.
I'd say, for a classic English style, pub, you go to any pub in the UK, you're probably going to find this a beer similar to this on tap.
Yeah,
sort of what we were going for. I mean, we really wanted to bring the, instead of having to hop across the pond to enjoy beer over in Europe, you can have one right here in lovely Ontario.
Absolutely, yeah. Hopefully we do it justice. Definitely malt forward. Should be
For sure.
The malt is a show.
It's really nice though, like the aroma on it. It's kind of, I'm getting like malty, a little sweet. Like you said, a little bready, sort of. What I don't know. What do you?
Yeah, biscuit and bread,
Mm-hmm.
and toffee maybe.
Yeah.
Touch of coffee, not too much burnt, if any. It might be just a touch in the background. Funny you're talking about hopping across the pond. I used to always joke with the team. The yeast, for whatever reason, of course we're harvesting and we're repitching into each batch and tracking the yeast health. For whatever reason, they're always the happiest with this firehouse. There's just something about the Lake of the Woods water and the mineral chemistry there. I don't know if there's some other factors like the equipment or whatever, but this recipe, for whatever reason, the yeast coming out of it, they're just super happy, super healthy.
Okay.
That just tells me something. I don't know what it is, but it's just the right mix of everything.
Well, it's probably their favorite beer.
Well, and that's just it. So if it's their favorite, hopefully it's ours too. It must make sense with our water and make sense for us to brew here this kind of style, that they're that happy coming out of it. There's something right there.
Yeah. Well, Lake of the Woods water, I mean, it is pretty darn amazing. It's a soft water, right?
Mm-hmm.
So really, really great water for making all different styles of beer. Soft water, easy enough to replicate a lot of different styles, from lagers to ale. I mean, the classic Pilsner from the River Pilsen in the Czech Republic at the time, I guess Czech Republic, now Czechoslovakia at the time, was super soft for that river. And that's where the Pilsner originated. So really, in order to replicate that style, which we do have a Pilsner as well, Papermaker Pilsner, one of our faves. Lake of the Woods water is great for that.
Absolutely, yeah. This we've made a couple tweaks to this recipe over the years, and both of them, funny enough, were kind of happy accidents. The first one, we ended up putting up the chocolate another 50%.
Now, when you say chocolate, you're just saying the chocolate malt.
Yes,
We're not adding.
There's no nibs or anything in here. It's just chocolate malt. Someone had actually made a mistake, put too much chocolate in, and then we ended up liking it. So we kind of kept it as is, and then there was another malt that we tweaked in here. That kind of same thing was a mistake, and then we ended up liking. So
Happy accidents.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's been so to that point, there's been a slight evolution over the years on the grain bill on this brand, but other than that,
What is the grain bill? Like right now?
so it's pale Victory, which is where all that biscuit and bread is coming from. We've got special roast, which is that nut note and that nutty flavor, which should kind of be the if you will, the highlight of the show, and it's backed by that chocolate that brings in those roasty flavors, the color, and that slight chocolate note, of course, too. So I think even so, it's had those two slight changes to it over the years. It's just got that balance that I enjoy, and again, certainly malt forward, certainly lower carbonation, and that body from all those malts, but
you probably want to drink this a little bit warmer than right out of the fridge too. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. Proper serving temp you do for any kind of brown ale. I'm sure you could drink it cold, but as you're saying, it's probably best left out for a half hour before you drink it or something.
That's when you're really going to get all those flavors coming out of the aromas, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And be able to enjoy the subtleties to it.
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you just took yours out of the fridge, just hold on to it for about half an hour and then crack it and you're gonna notice the difference. So I guess that, anything more for Firehouse and we can get on to the next one, or what do you think?
I don't know. I think that's great. Again, it's one of the originals, and again, you know, if there's any judge of a beer, the yeast would be it. And as I said, they give it a 2 thumbs up. So
Nice. Good.
You know, that's my take.
Awesome. Well, yeah. So thanks, Josh, and thank you for joining us for Firehouse English Nut Brown Ale. Cheers.
Hey everybody, Troy here once again. I'm in the heart of our brewery. This is the mash tun and the boil kettle, basically the beginnings of where beer is made, if you've been paying attention. Yeah, we're super pumped to have you, and one of the cool things that we've brought you this weekend is trivia. I am a nerd for trivia. I love it. I know many of you people do. We have those score sheets. Hope you've been playing along, but Brendan will explain to you how to play. Brendan, by the way, hosts Nickel City Trivia. He's the founder of that wicked weekly event that takes place around the city and online. So all the details are here for you to check out. But have some fun tonight and play some trivia, everybody. And hopefully you can test out your, you know, how good you are at beer knowledge. So yeah, take it away, Brendan.
Hey everybody, this is Brendan Roy. I'm here with my dog Brewer, because we love beer. And I'm here to do some more trivia with you. So this is our second night of trivia. He just wanted treats, so now he's going to be gone forever. But we're here for some trivia. So this is our second night, as I said. If you've done night one, this is going to have a pretty familiar feel to it. But all the same, I hope this is something you enjoy. Before I get into the whole explanation of it, I just want to take a minute to kind of talk to you about who I am. So my name is Brendan. I run Nickel City Trivia. It's a local organization. By organization, a little tiny side project business that I've been running for a couple of years now, actually. And it's been something I really, really loved doing and have loved doing for a couple of years now. So yeah, so it's been actually almost 3 years now, which is the craziest part. I do private events such as this. Or like birthday parties and stuff like that as well, because adults are allowed having fun on their birthday parties too. I also do weekly trivia at the townhouse when we're permitted to do so, as well as virtual trivia every Thursday night as well. So with that said, I'm going to show you my trivia sheet. This is what it looks like tonight. This is our night number 2. Same format as last night, a couple of different things, but pretty straightforward. And yeah, so basically I want you to take a look at this. I'm going to read you a bunch of questions you're going to answer on your sheet. I'm going to pop in throughout the night to do so. At the very end of the night, I will give you the answers, and then you'll record yourselves, see how you did. Record your own answers, not yourselves, and see how you did, and then we will see who the winner is. And by the winner, if you crush your friends. Because all this is for is bragging rights. But yes, so really quickly, a couple things to mention. One is the quickie round. You can take a look at that if you have a hunch of what's going on. I'll explain more later. But the picture round, that is naming the drinks based off their really nicely blocked out text. Name those drinks for me of some of those different beverages that we've got kicking around. That's all we're doing for there. You can do that at any time. Otherwise, if you love trivia, if you enjoy trivia, if you're just having fun tonight, my contact info is all down there. And I'd be happy to see you coming out for a little bit more trivia down the line. So with that said, we're going to get started with round number 1 shortly, I have no doubts. But I hope you enjoy yourselves. I hope you have some nice beers tonight. And I will see you in a bit. Take care. Hey everybody, this is Brendan Roy from Nickel City Trivia. And I am coming at you with your first round of trivia for the night. This is your multiple choice round. There are 5 questions here named nicely on your sheets. Reach down to keep hopping. I'm going to list you some answers, or not some answers. That would be terrible trivia. I'm going to give you some questions. I want you to answer it Don't ABC or D this. Write it out in full. That just makes everybody's life a little bit easier. So let's get you started with question number 1. It's called Screech. What province drinks the most beer per capita in Canada? No doubt fueled by their George Street parties. Is that Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, or Newfoundland? So that's number 1. What province drinks the most beer per capita in Canada? Ontario, BC, Alberta, or Newfoundland? Number 2. Which of these is not an ingredient in a French 75? Gin, simple syrup, champagne, or vermouth? I think it's fantastic that Crosscut's one of the participating groups doing this Brewfest with us. And I was like, we need some cocktail questions in this as well. And this is it. So my question, which of these is not an ingredient in a French 75? Gin, simple syrup, champagne, or vermouth? Number 3, moose-related beers. What was Stack's Shattercone beer originally named before Moosehead interfered? Would that have been Friendly Moose, Confused Moose, Drunk Moose, or Angry Moose? So it wasn't always called Shattercone, it was named something else. Was it originally Friendly Moose, Confused Moose, Drunk Moose, or Angry Moose? Number 4 is called Hop to It. What country produces the most hops, having output about 44,000 tons a year in recent years? Would that be China, the Czech Republic, the United States, or Germany? So that's number 4. What country gives us all our hops? This is a good thing. Is that China, the Czech Republic, the United States, or Germany? And number 5, speaking of hops, we're going to keep hopping. Which of these is not a variant of hop? Cascade, Super Cyan, Falconer's Flight, or Chinook? So 3 or 4 of those are real things. One of those is not. Which of those is not a real type of hop? Cascade, Super Cyan, Falconer's Flight, or Chinook? And there you go. With your multiple choice questions, I hope you crushed it. I will come to you with more questions shortly and your answers at the end of the night. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Enjoy those drinks, and I will see you in a bit.
Hey everybody, we're here at an LCBO where you can find any product you're looking for, whether it's local or from anywhere around the globe. I know that we are privileged to be in every LCBO in Greater Sudbury and across Ontario. Another brand that has their products around the province is coming up next, New Ontario from North Bay. Cheers!
Hi, I'm Crystal from New Ontario, and today we're going to dive into the classic Irish style Tree Topper Red Ale. So interesting to note that this can is our original design. There's a new one in the works as well. This is also an award-winning beer. It won silver at Germany's International Beer Awards. So this is just a nice, easy drinking beer. We see from the color, it's actually probably pretty hard to see right now, but it's a nice light red with a cream-colored head on the top. So on the nose, we get I get some light molasses flavors and some fruity esters. So this is a very balanced tasting beer. You have the sweetness that is brought on from the English malt, and it's ends in a little bit of light bitterness, which is from the West Coast hops. Overall, it's quite a pleasure for the palate. Very smooth and easy to see why it's a customer favorite. Cheers.
Skip-a-dabba-dooba-dabba-dip-bap-dap-ba-ba-brew-bap-ba-dap. Skip-a-dabba-dooba-da-da-dibba-dee-dabba-doo. Brap-a-dip-a-doo-da-brip-a-dabba-dabba-dip-a-dap-dap-doo-da-doo-dat. 3 minutes of scats, what you're getting when you're listening to New Ontario. A bibba-dabba-dibba-dabba-dee-da-doo, I got there.
Hi! Well, and welcome to New Ontario Brewing. Mike Harrison. I'm the brewmaster and the original founder of New Ontario Brewing. It's excellent to have you here today on our virtual tour of our facility. This is where you're going to meet our people. You're going to see how we make the magic. And really, you're gonna get that sense of feeling like you're a part of something. Because every time you have one of our beers, we're thinking of you.
I was sitting in a little old corner of an East Nashville coffee shop, sipping on a mocha latte and worrying about my parking spot. I was starting to wonder what the hell I was doing in such a God-forsaken place, when the cover of a magazine caught my eye, and well, I had some time to waste. Guitar World was the title there on the cover of that magazine, and on it showed 4 smiling men. Oh, that must have been Guitar King. I ventured a little further into the article, looking for the Guitar Queen. And out of all them good old guitar picking boys, none of them boys was me. Ain't no girls in Guitar World according to a magazine. Ain't no living in guitar heaven, anyone with eyes can't see. Well, I was feeling pretty low, feeling pretty down. Am I just digging myself into a hole in the ground? And if I had my head screwed on right, you think that I could be a real ace in this town? And I was sitting at the dinner table, my pa yelled out, I'm sick of all this strong woman bull. And I started to think to myself that maybe this is it. Ain't no girls in Guitar World according to a magazine. Ain't no women in guitar heaven, anyone with eyes can see. Ain't no girls in Guitar World according to a magazine.
Hi, welcome back to another session. Hopefully you're enjoying your night. We're here on the rocks outside of Science North, here in Sudbury. They're going to perform another lovely science experiment. Once we all get vaccinated and we can start traveling again, please come visit Science North. It's one of the top science centers here in Ontario, Canada. So yeah, without further ado, here's another experiment. Hope you guys enjoy it. Science!
Hi again, I'm back. For those of you who may have missed it, I'm Katrina and I'm a Blue Coat at Science North. Our team was very graciously asked by Stack Brewing to participate in this event, and we are thrilled to be a part of MicroBrew Fest this year and to share some science with you throughout the event. Our Sudbury and Thunder Bay teams are ready to science in person as soon as we can, but for now, I'm going to fill you in on some upcoming things you can expect from us this year. Science North and Dynamic Earth will be hosting 2 amazing exhibitions with workshops, guests, and events. We are opening a new theater on level 4 at Science North, and we've got some gems coming up for our teenage and adult audiences. So stay tuned for those throughout 2021. Plus, our Northern Ontario crew is going to be delivering workshops, festivals, events, and summer camp programs throughout the province. Now, I can't give away everything, but I can tell you that we are definitely very excited to share fun new things with you. If for some reason you can't see us in person, you can still find us online. We will continue to science on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you'll be able to catch us on Twitch and TikTok starting in April. You can check out our website to keep up with all of our events, programs, information on our Science Center hours, and all of this new fun stuff that we are going to be doing throughout the year. I also want to say a giant thanks and huge props to our great friends at Stack for putting together an amazing event that I think we all really needed right now. And on that note, enjoy the rest of MicroBrew Fest. Cheers, everyone!
Ever wonder why a small tap on a near full beer results in such a foamy overflow? This science snippet brought to you by Science North and Cavitation and that funny guy standing beside you at the party. I remember we used to do that. So let's get that back in there so we can take another look. right here on contact, we send a compression wave through the bottles. The bottles get compressed and some of them group together. This is the cavitation part. We can see this right at the bottom of the bottle. Once the pressure is released, right here, we see the bubbles can expand again. Some are still big and they rise very quickly, bringing more bubbles along with them. Once the foam hits the neck, it picks up a little more speed from being forced through the smaller opening. Once the beer escapes, you are sad, unless you manage to drink it all up or you stuck your thumb over the top and sprayed the funny guy.
Hey, welcome party goers! Again, we're outside the Big Nickel, the world's largest coin. And right here we also have some troughs formed by glaciers. Very interesting Sudbury touristic venue to visit next summer. We're here to also introduce the next brewery, Sudbury's newest brewery, Optimist Brewing and Kitchen. Please enjoy!
Hi, my name is Michael. I'm a brewer for Optimist Brewery and Kitchen, and tonight I'm drinking Shift, our black lager. Like so many of our beers here, I try to do something very, very different every time I make a new beer here. This is one of our flagships. It's one of the ones that I'm the most proud of. It's a black lager for people who don't really like black beers. And it still fits the bill for people who actually do like black beers. This is a 4% light black lager. It's perfectly black all the way through and still gives some hints of the dark chocolate coffee type aromas, but it's not quite as heavy nor as strong as most stouts and porters that you might find most of the time. This is a very easy drinking, very thirst quenching, sessionable beer that's really made for really every day. You could drink this on the patio or in the dead of winter if you like. Either way is perfectly fine, and we love adding little twists and things to everything we make. In this particular case, we've used Mandarina Bavaria hops along with Ballista to add a sort of candied orange, not citrus type of character, but really a sweet candied orange character to the beer. It's really quite refreshing and so quenchable. And if you love black beers, this might fit the bill. If you don't, that's also fine too. But the point of this beer is really that it's for everybody. And so even if you don't like black beers, please give it a shot. I'm sure you're gonna like it. It's one of our most popular beers, even for those who don't like beers. So shift your mindset, which is exactly where we got the name for this thing. Shift your mindset into liking black beers. This one might give you a shot. Give us a shot too.
How's everybody doing? I know I'm pretty good. Hanging out in a brewery all day, that'll definitely get the juices flowing. But you know what else gets the juices flowing is tunes. I'm a huge sucker for music. I even play a little bit. You know, it's a passion of mine. I'm sure there's plenty of you out there who do the same. We did bring in a guest for this weekend's festivities. He goes by Tron. Apparently, I kind of look like him. I don't know. I don't see it. I don't think that's a thing. But he loves the 80s. So if you guys like 80s tunes, which I'm a huge fan of, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy the show. But yeah, take it away, Tron.
Hey everybody, it's Tron Funkablow live from a brewery. Welcome to a Saturday night in Sudbury. Yeah! Oh yeah, you guys ready for some 80s music? Oh yeah, I'm ready. I don't know about you, but I frickin' love the 80s, man. So long, so long, so long's been been away. So long, so long, so long, back again. So long, so long, so long, he's been away. So long, so long, so long, he's back again. When I turned 17, we had passion, we had dreams. I thought the love we were fighting for was something holy, something more. When I turned 21, we were outside on the run. When I walked out with my girl, hey, we went halfway around the world, around the world. When I dreamed that I saw her standing there, they're running for the boy inside the man. I was hit high by the light so bright it burned, and all at once I knew she'd understand. The boy inside the man. The boy inside the man. When I turned 25, we were hungry, we had drive. When I turned much older then, because the boy was lost in pride. When I dreamed that I saw her standing there, running for the boy inside the man. I was hit high by the light so bright it burned, and all at once I knew she'd understand. The boy inside the man. The boy inside the man. Yeah. It's MicroBrew Festival, everybody. Hope you're having a good time on this Sudbury Saturday night. I'd just like to thank Stack for inviting me here. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. And bless you all for drinking beer with us. Well, I dreamed that I saw her standing there. They're running for the boy inside the man. I was hit high by the light so bright it burned, and all at once I knew she'd understand. I want some more smoke, and I dreamed that I saw her standing there, running for the boy inside the man. I was hit high by the light so bright it burned. Smoke me up all at once, I knew she'd understand. Yeah! The boy inside the man. The boy inside the man. Yeah! We're having a good time, aren't we? Yeah, you guys having fun? I'm having fun. Well, what should we do here? The 80s, that's what we're gonna do. All right. You know what? Let's, yeah, let's do that. I mean, I love that song. Yeah. Okay. Now, I hope I don't screw this up, you know? Let's try it. I never meant to be so bad to you. One thing I said that I would never do. One look from you and I will fall from grace, and I will wipe a smile right from my face. Do you remember where we used to dance? And incidents arose from circumstance. One thing led to another, we were young, and we would write together songs undone. It was the heat of the moment, telling me what my heart meant. The heat of the moment, shown in your eyes. And now you find yourself in 82. The disco house might hold no chance for you. You can't concern yourself with bigger things. You catch the pearl and ride the dragon's wings. Come on! It was the heat of the moment, telling me what your heart meant. The heat of the moment shown in your eyes. All right, everybody, let's go! And now your looks have gone and you're alone. How many nights you sat behind the phone? What were the things you wanted for yourself? Teenage ambition you remember well. 'Cause it was the heat of the moment, telling me what your heart meant. The heat of the moment shown in your eyes. It was the heat of the moment. The heat of the moment. The heat of the moment shown in your eyes. All right, everybody, thank you. This is Tron Funk and Blow. We're staying tuned for more MicroBrew Festival. Giddy.
What's up, everybody? Saturday, MicroBrew. What a time to be alive. Sudbury Saturday night for the rest.
Is that Corey Hart?
Hey, listen.
Sunglasses at night?
I feel good. I'm feeling good. I'm buzzed. I don't want people to see what my eyes look like right now. But it's a Sudbury Saturday night across Ontario, which is pretty awesome. MicroBrew Festival. Again, you know, we can't stress how much of a process this was to create. So thank you, everybody, for your patience. We were joking that we make MicroBrew festivals happen every year. We attract thousands of people, and it's a lot of hard work, and we're pulling each other's hair out from the stresses. That was nothing compared to this. Putting together Ontario's first real, what seems to be MicroBrew festival, was a challenge.
First and last.
So anybody who's looking to do this themselves,
first and last.
Don't do it.
Real festival's much easier.
Much easier. But thank you. And as for the videos that are coming through right now, we know these aren't as professional as you're used to, maybe from TV broadcasts. We're just a couple of guys who make beer and sell beer. We don't know how to do this, but hopefully it's been good for you because we're having a blast.
Draws.
Prizes. We got prizes.
This was done after the trade deadline. This was just in case Kyle, my boy Kyle, gets traded, man. Kyle, I'll miss you.
Oh, hey, he brought a chip. He brought a chip to Canada. So.
Kyle.
So we got some wicked prizes here that we're going to be doing draws for. If you're a winner today, you're going to see, we're going to say your order number and your name. Text me, Troy, at 705-561-7132 and be like, I'm a winner! And then we'll tell you how we'll get your stuff to you. So I'll have that information with the order numbers on the screen. So without further ado, what do we got here, Sean?
Full Beard.
Oh yeah, Full Beard gave us, Benji and John and the boys, they gave us $10 gift card so you can use on their
online.
Yeah,
they must be doing something right in Timmins because those guys are swagged out.
Yeah, they give so much swag. Thank you to all the brewers for giving us swag for all of you people who are watching, and then for donating some prizes. That's amazing. So you get 4 Full Beard glasses, $10 gift card, and a sweet Full Beard Brewing Company hoodie, which is awesome. Who's winning that, John?
Order 5376. Blake Quebec Deloge.
Blake Quebec Deloge.
Mr. Deloge.
That is a beauty of a handle. Félicitations, Blake Quebec Deloge. You are a winner of a Full Beard set. Up next, we've got New Ontario. They're great. Mike and his team over in North Bay are crushing it. They just opened up a brand new facility. Check out their socials. They got a cool podcast where maybe someone was a guest host once. I don't know. Wink, wink. But yeah, check them out. So you get an I'd Tap That t-shirt and a Wicked New Ontario. Well, you know what this reminds me of? That's Zelda.
Yeah.
That's a Zelda fire. That's awesome. So who's winning that?
Order 5421. And I like this name. I might have to say it a little bit sexy since we're at the gold. Madison Brown.
Madison Brown.
Madison Brown.
That is a good.
5421.
I'd tap that name. No, that's a beautiful name, Madison Brown. You're a winner. Congratulations. We're getting a little risque. Can you tell that we're getting into the beers and we're tired? Up next, Collective Arts. They're amazing out of Hamilton. They gave a bunch of swag for you guys. This is great. We got Collective Arts socks. We've got a Beauty Collective Arts toque. And we've got a Beauty Collective Arts hoodie. That's a great package. Who's that going to, Sean?
Order 5597. 5597. Ivan Boudreau.
Ivan Boudreau! Félicitations, Ivan Boudreau! Collective Arts from Hamilton.
Ivan Boudreau.
And last but not least, yours truly, we got Stack Swag. We've got a gift tote bag. We've got a nice purple unisex hoodie. And we've got a chapeau, a casquette, a hunting hat, camo from Stack. Who's getting that guy?
5398. 5398. And we're just like these French names. Christine Goudreau. Christine Goudreau.
Christine Goudreau! Hola! Hey! So congratulations to all our winners today. That's amazing. Again, 705-561-7132. Reach out. We'll get this stuff to you. Get into those beers. Enjoy the rest of the festival, gang. Sean, whoop!
Nope, let's sanitize.
Oh,
Alcohol.
Hey everybody, cheers, welcome back. We're super excited about everything that's going on tonight. And obviously, once again, we're super happy to have you be part of us in your living room. We're gonna travel a little bit here north, about 3 hours north of Sudbury, to a great little brewery that I love. These guys, they're so much fun. Benji, John, the whole team over at Full Beard in Timmins just kicks ass. And they make some really cool stuff, and we had the honor of trying some of their beers that they provided us for the festival ahead of time. So sorry we had a sneak peek, but we're also going to crush some right now. So enjoy Full Beard from Timmins, everybody. Cheers.
G'day MicroBrew Festival people, Andrew Easthope from Full Beard Brewing here, bringing you our latest in the Twisted Whiskers Sour series, Berry Fruitastic, Passion Fruit, Mango, Guava, Kettle Sour. Alright, our Twisted Whiskers series is a Kettle Sour series. Each of our sour series has a unique recipe to complement and bring out the desired result at the end of fruit, so grains and malts to complement. But this one, we wanted to go with the passion fruit, mango, and guava. So let's start off with the can design, and we'll talk about the Catarina Sour in a little bit. Each of our can designs is always beautiful, lovely artworks. The creativity in the can design from the team here and our designer is just incredible and complements our beer. All right, so the Catarina Sour. The Catarina Sour is a sour style coming out of Brazil, using half wheat, half Pilsen malt. It has a clean lactobacillus souring technique and a clean yeast strain. No hop presidents, just fruit forward with the sour. All right, let's get into that pour. So as it pours, you'll notice it just looks like juice straight off the mark. It's a beautiful orange, ripe mango in color with a gorgeous white head that just lasts through. Okay, on the nose, again, it's all about the fruit on this one. You're getting the mango, the passion fruit, a kind of touch of orange through that juiciness of it all. again, let's get into it. So good. Again, mango. The sourness is there, but the mango is pushing through. The passion fruit is coming through. You've got the guava that is a fruit that just brings everything out in those tropical flavors. It just enhances it all. Just an all-around delicious sour. We're pumped about this one. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts of things. As I said, each of our sours has been brewed differently with a different grain bill to complement that desired result at the end. We've always had a known result with our souring agent, so this time we wanted to stretch it and bring in a new strain of lactobacillus that gives it a fruitiness in itself. So we chose the Catarina sour because it's a simple malt base that gives us a known result. We added the lactobacillus, and straight from the mark, the fruitiness was punching through as it went into the fermenter. It was something else. We then added the mangoes, the passion fruit and guava, and let this one ferment out. It's a medium body. It's got that fruitiness that comes through, and of course that beautiful pucker of the sour. We hope you enjoy our kettle series, Twisted Whiskers, very fruitastic. Cheers, everyone.
The city of Timmins, home of Fullbeard Brewing. Fullbeard Brewing was established in 2016, contract brewing with Broadhead Brewery out of Ottawa. Then, home in 2017 is where we are. Where's Benji? Let's check his office. He's not here. Where could he be?
What's that? You're there? We're gonna check out our can fridge. Sounds like he's doing something in there. Hey, what are you doing?
Doing inventory.
We're supposed to be doing this video.
What the hell? What video?
Video for MicroBrew Fest.
Oh, why the hell are we doing that now?
Look at that mustache all full of stout beer.
Well, I was making sure it had the right amount of carbonation in it.
That's awesome.
That's also it for inventory. Oh, well, okay. Okay, well, first, make sure you guys are 6 feet away from the TV because I'm not wearing a mask. All right, so back up. Hey, Jen. Hey, Sam. This is the can fridge. In summertime, Johnny hangs out here quite often.
Very much so. As you can see, it's made for us, height-wise, not for Andrew.
Yeah.
So we're good on height.
Got ports, just in case we have to yell at each other and we have to separate each other. Keep some of our hops and stuff at the back end over here. This is where we make sure carbonation is okay in the beer. So I'll show you a little bit around downstairs here. So we normally have all our grain here.
Sold out.
We've sold out. We've actually transferred some to our warehouse also during the winter months. Do some cleaning, get underneath, clean all the areas. Our lift over here. If you've ever been in our brewery, if not, you're welcome to come and we hope to see you. This is kind of our elevator. Everything that transfers upstairs comes downstairs. Nice 1,500 pound 4 kegs at a time. You got to review your steps before you do it. We keep some empty cans here on a daily basis, so we use some extra canning. Over on this side, we keep our label inventory, glassware inventory, bottles, growlers, keg fridges, our festival stuff, which, hey, Sean, Brando, Troy, we got to get this festival stuff a little undusted there, so let's get these things open. You guys know that we also have tap and draft services. So we do everything from lines, plumbing, installations, festivals, events, catering. So a lot of the stuff and parts are on this side. Johnny will zoom in on stuff.
Tools, parts.
If anybody needs anything, we typically have it in stock. So don't be shy to reach out to Johnny or myself. Fridges, we keep our kegs. I think I heard him walking by here. Go over here, compressors, merch, extra stuff, flyer. This is where I hang out. A little bit of peace and quiet. Our security system. It's kind of like the cockpit of the back end. It's where I do my work. This is where I stay out of everybody else's hair. We also have our first install. My buddy put that in a little while ago. A little representation. Thank you for supporting craft beer and thank you for the festival. We'll go over to the keg fridge and where we store most of the stuff. Again, we don't hire too many people over 6 feet tall. This is where inventory is. We always have inventory. We always ship Ontario-wide daily, except for on Saturdays and Sundays. We also tour the north. We can deliver at any point in time, from here to Ottawa, here to Thunder Bay, and here to Barrie. Again, all the breweries that are involved here, they all ship. Tell your friends, buy presents, send gifts. You know, nothing like getting a knock on the door at 4 o'clock and you did a gift for one of your friends, a coworker, or somebody that helped you out in the industry, somebody you paid it forward, somebody bought you Tim Hortons, pay it forward. Order them 12 beer. We'll all our craft breweries, everybody involved here, will be glad to ship you. And then we go upstairs. Hey Karen, Hey Dave. Hey Jay. Hey George. Hey, all my crew. And then this is where we leave off for Johnny and the brewers to do the rest part.
The mill.
From there to the mash tun, where we add water to the grains. Then we transfer over to the kettle. Then we boil and add hops. Then we transfer to fermenter. Then we transfer to the bright tank, and then we keg or can. Hey everybody, how you doing? I know I'm starting to get a good little buzz on with the weather that we're picking up. It's just gearing for summertime. Let's go. Yeah, so if you stop by 947 Falconbridge to the Stack Brew House anytime this summer, you're gonna see some big things coming. Sudbury, get ready. We have plans of building a beer garden outside, Sudbury's first. It's gonna feel like Oktoberfest year round during the summertime. Stay tuned for more details on that. But yeah, if you're from out of town, come check it out. It's gonna be an amazing experience. But yeah, let's get to some trivia. So yeah, without further ado, Brennan, hit us with some more questions.
Hey everybody, this is Brendan Roy from Nickel City Trivia once again with more trivia. So this is going to be your general trivia part 1. So if we take a look at our trivia sheet, there it is. These are your 5 questions, the Mayor of Brewing down to Golden Clarity. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, just answer them, and then I will get you the answers at the end of the night. So let's get started with question number 1. What city was brewer Alexander Keith elected mayor of in 1841, becoming that city's 4th ever mayor? Alexander Keith, not just an IPA. But no, Alexander Keith was elected mayor of what city in 1841, becoming that city's 4th ever mayor? It's kind of cool, though.
Hey everyone, Tessa Benham here, your friendly neighborhood sports center anchor, Vancouver 2010 Olympic gold medalist with the Canadian women's national hockey team, and very proud Sudburyan. Pleasure to be here with all of you. After all, I mean, we don't get to see a lot of people, so even virtual is kind of fun. Hope everybody's enjoying their time. I'm here to have a question for you. Here it goes. Question 2. I got to read it off of here. Again, I don't want to screw things up. Question 2, under the category Das Boot. The tradition of drinking a beer out of a boot came from soldiers drinking beer out of an actual boot. While in the trenches during which war? Must have been salty.
Hi everyone, Mayor Brian Bigger here, and I hope you're having fun on day 2 of CyberBrew. I just wanted to say, COVID-19 has been really challenging for everyone in our community. We've all had to make a lot of sacrifices over the past year, including giving up a lot of in-person time with the people who mean the most to us. And I said it last night as well, but I just want to thank you for doing your part and making smart decisions to keep yourself and your loved ones safe. As much as cyber events like this one help keep us connected in these strange times, I think it'll help us enjoy the in-person version that much more when the time comes. There's so many other things to look forward to. For one thing, I know there's been a lot of talk and excitement about Place des Arts, which will be the first multidisciplinary arts centre in northeastern Ontario. Construction is well underway, as I'm sure you've seen, and it's great that Greater Sudbury has such a thriving arts community, and it's exciting that we'll soon have this beautiful cultural facility with a bit of something for everyone. So hang in there. Let's all keep doing our best and look forward to what's to come. And with that, here's question number 3 under the category Pure and Simple. The Bavarian Purity Law of 1516 was the first law to limit the ingredients of beer to what 4 ingredients, which are the core ingredients of the beers we enjoy today. You're going to get a quarter point for each of these correct ingredients. Good luck.
Hey, what's up? This is Logan Stutz, the coach for the Sudbury Five. We're here at Stack Brewery. I'm bringing you your next question. It's under the category More Beer, Please. Not all beers were created equal. If you were to order 1 pint of beer in America versus 1 pint of beer in Canada, which beer would give you more volume? We're talking metric pints versus imperial pints here. Go.
Hello, bonsoir, Annie. I'm France Gelina, the MPP for Nickelbelt. I would like to wish everyone a fun evening for this second night of the virtual MicroBrew Festival. I want to thank Stack Brewery for inviting me to ask the next question. I love the name of their beer, whether we talk about names like Les Portes de l'Enfer, directly linked to the vitality of the Francophone community. Panache, to me, is a direct link to great, beautiful Lake Panache, or La Cloche and its amazing scenery. I thank all of you for participating in this virtual MicroBrew Festival. This pandemic has been hard on all of us, but I hope for a few hours tonight you will forget all about it and have a good time. So here's the next question, and it's under the category of Golden Clarity. What is the name of the world's first pale lager brewed in a Czech town that share its name? We don't want the specific brand, we just want the type of beer. So it's up to you.
Hey, festival goers, I'm here to introduce the next, well, not brewery, distillery, Sudbury's own Crosscut Distillery, right where I'm standing right here. Shane does a patio in the summer. We can come enjoy his nice, lovely cocktails. So, without further ado, please enjoy Crosscut Distillery.
Hi everyone, my name is Carissa, and tonight I'm going to be taking you through the tasting notes of our Season for Treason Spruce Tip Vodka and the cocktail which you will be sipping on tonight that will be featuring our Spruce Tip Vodka. The Season for Treason Spruce Tip Vodka is definitely a proud favorite. It has been around for a couple of years now, and we wanted to take the time to highlight it in a craft cocktail for you all to try. So first I'm going to go over the tasting notes of the vodka itself, and then we're going to dive into the cocktail that will feature. Alright, so if you have the opportunity to sample the spirit straight with us tonight, we definitely encourage it. If not, you will still pick up the notes of the spirits in the cocktail that you will be having. So the Season for Treason Spruce Tip Vodka uses locally foraged spruce tips. So spruce tips are the new growth of the spruce. You can only forage them for about 2 weeks of late spring, early summer. So on the nose, when you are smelling the spirit, you're going to get the spruce, of course, along with some sweet citrus and earthy notes. And then onto the palate, you're going to have that spruce carry through with some lemon peel, cream, and pepper. And again, those earthy notes are going to come out nicely for you. So, if you've had the opportunity to bump into us at other festivals or events in the past, you know that usually we show up with large containers of cocktails. So we mix one big batch cocktail, and then we dispense one cocktail at a time to serve to all the festival goers. So obviously we had to get creative for this year's festival.
So, as you see, we are going to be featuring mini Astro cookies. So this is so new that we don't even have labels made up. By the time it makes it home with you, they will have their own personalized labels, which we are so excited about. So one of our favorite cocktails to feature the season for treating spruce tip vodka in is the Blue Spruce. So the Blue Spruce is made up of the season for treating spruce tip vodka with a homemade blueberry syrup, lemon juice, spiced maple bitters, which are sourced from a lady dental in Scotia, and then distilled water. So we are just going to open up our little pouches here. They do have a little spout, so you can drink it straight from the actual pouch. I am going to be pouring mine into my festival glass from last year, just to really pretend like I'm there. So I'm going to serve mine over ice, and then I also garnished it with some rosemary. Totally optional. So you can see that really nice color that comes through. So that is a blend of blueberry syrup, which is like a nice rich blue purple mixed with the lemon juice, which gives us that fun red. So definitely the first thing that you smell is the spruce, and of course the rosemary, so a lot of those herbal notes. It is so refreshing, nice and tart from the lemon, the blueberry comes through, and then the spiced maple bitters really just warms it up, kind of ties the whole drink together. So definitely one way that we love to feature our season for trees and spruce tip vodka. At www.crosscutdistillery.ca, where you can shop all of our spirits, mixers, syrups, bitters, everything you need to make the perfect cocktail at home. We do have $20 flat rate shipping all across Ontario, and we do free local delivery on orders over $100.
Hey, welcome back to the virtual microbrew. Next up is Sudbury Tourism. Again, you can't really do tours of the Super Stack, but here it is in Sudbury. There's a bunch of other things to see and enjoy in this great city of ours. We named one of our beers Stack 72 to kind of honor the stack, and you can kind of see it from Kelly Lake Road as well. You see it throughout the city in the north, so it's kind of cool to have. Here we go, Sudbury Tourism. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, it's Nicholas Gignac, the chef here at Stack Brew House. In about 10 minutes time, I'm going to be walking you through a lovely little appetizer that we actually have on the menu here at the Brew House. We're going to be doing a beer and cheese dip using Sawdust City's Belgian Blonde. So
get your recipe little notebook in order, and I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Hey, welcome back, MicroBrew Festival goers. We're standing in front of one of Sudbury's landmarks here, St. Joe's Hospital. Nicely, brightly colored and painted. You can see it around the lake and down here on the street. We're here to introduce 46 North, another brewery here in Sudbury, Ontario. So go see Graham on Kelly Lake Road, 46 North.
Hello friends, let me introduce Yardbard. Yardbard is an American Pale Ale, which in beer terms America typically references a little more alcohol and a little more hops. In this particular case it's both. So Yardbard is a very hoppy, a little higher alcohol pale ale. It pours bright yellow, super hazy with a beautiful white head. Aroma is very tropical. It also drinks very kind of fruity, but incredibly balanced. Yardbard is definitely a hugely popular beer at 46 North. We often get asked, why we don't have it on the menu more frequently. And truth be told, Yardbard's been a very difficult beer for us to produce. It's been kind of plagued with ingredient hiccups along the way. The first was its malt. So the base malt that we use in this beer became extinct. They no longer continue to produce it. So our first obstacle was to find a malt that we thought was suitable. And we did. So this is now a Canadian two-row barley that comes from Saskatchewan. The next kind of major hiccup we had with Yardbard was the hops. When we first opened 46 North, we didn't realize how important securing good hops was. So when we first launched the beer, we went to make a second batch and couldn't buy the hops. So we had to wait until the next crop year to enter into a contract to secure the hops that we needed to make Yardbard. So it's a beer we're very proud of. We're very happy we never gave up on it. It's one of my hands down favorites. Kind of if you could take a beer to a desert island for the rest of your life, I would take Yardbard. It's just delicious. Hope you enjoy it as much as I do. Yeah, that's good. This is gonna be way harder than I thought. I don't even know how to get started. Hello friends, welcome to the MicroBrew Fest!
Hey guys, welcome to 46 North. I am Holly, I'm one of the owners, and I'm also the brewmaster.
No, you are not the brewmaster! My name is Graham. Hello everyone, I am the brewmaster.
I feel like I would need a beard to be the brewmaster.
A full beard.
A full beard and maybe a pretty big stack as well.
Well, cheers, MicroBrew Fest.
Cheers. Thank you, Stack, for hosting another wonderful MicroBrew Fest. I know it's a lot of work to put it together. It's wonderful having all the northern microbreweries together, and thank you again for hosting it.
Yeah, hopefully this year is different, but just equally as fun.
It's wonderful to be part of it and to enjoy the beers of other breweries, although we don't get to chat with you guys live in person. It'll be fun to see your little video that you put together.
Yeah.
So in a quick 1 minute for 46 North, we started planning in 2017, 2018. A year later, we got the building. It took us 9 months to get set up. Everything you see here is all the effort put in from friends and family. We really couldn't have done it without them. All their talent, all their hard work. Graham's talent. He's made the tables, which I'm sure if you've been here, you've seen that, and I've probably mentioned it 100 times. And Graham was making great beer as a hobby, and I told him it's something he needed to share with the world, and here he is.
2 years later,
sharing it with
the world. Like many professional breweries, I started my brewing career as a home brewer and just sort of really spawned from that. I really worked hard on trying to make good quality beer and certainly experimenting a lot along the way. I still feel like a home brewer at heart. I try to use my old system as much as possible and keep brewing little small prototype batches for us to enjoy.
Teaching other people how to brew as
Teaching
well.
other people, yeah.
We get a lot of free beer that way. When we teach people how to brew.
That's true.
Yeah, we do. Don't tell anyone we said that. We'll cut that out. All right, we'll show you guys around and cheers. Hopefully by the end of this, I'm no longer part of the video.
Yeah. This is our tasting room. Welcome to the brew house. Here at 46 North, we are an oversized 7-barrel system, which means we ferment just over 1,000 liters of beer every batch that we make. We currently have 8 fermenters and 2 brights, which means we can make about 8 different beers at the same time. What makes our system kind of cool is that we're fully electric. So most breweries are steam generated to get their heat, but here we're fully electric. And what that allows us to do is to bring a little bit more automation into the process. So believe it or not, I can run the entire brewery from my phone. I don't actually have to be here to turn on pumps, motors, switches. It's really handy when you've got to lower the temperature of the tank and you don't want to come into work, especially if you're at the cottage. But yeah, this is our brew house. This is our newest addition to the 46 North family, our semi-automated canning machine. We're very excited to have this at the brewery, a game changer for us in terms of production. So our old bottling machine could do about 500 bottles a day. This will do that in a mere 30 minutes. So it's a very quick machine, and it also allows us to start distributing our product online. So hopefully by the time you're watching this video, 46 North cans will be for sale on our website, and we can ship anywhere in the province. It's a really cool little machine. Hello.
And I'm going to ask some questions that I think I hear people ask you, and we obviously didn't plan this.
We'll go from there.
All right, so Graham, tell me, which one of your beers is your favorite?
My favorite beer, I would probably say Yardbard is my favorite beer.
And what?
Yardbard is a very easy drinking beer. It's hoppy, but it's not bitter. The alcohol content is just smack dab right in the middle at 5%. It's an easy drinking, well balanced beer, and I've always loved that beer.
I personally love it as well. It
Oh,
also
thank you.
reminds me of our family.
Oh.
We tend to drink that a lot.
We do drink a lot of Yardbard.
Yeah.
We say Yardbard a lot.
Yardbard.
Yardbard.
Another question. What's your favorite part about owning a brewery?
Favorite part about owning a brewery? I would say the making of the beer is still my favorite part. That's what I fell in love with. Beer was through the making of it, mashing in the morning and smelling the grain. It still brings back a lot of fond memories of how we started and why we started to run this brewery. So definitely the making.
Never tell me you've had a hard day at work.
That's true.
If you were to share one tip with a craft beer drinker, not necessarily a maker, to educate them while drinking craft beer, what would it be?
A tip would be to explore new things. I think a lot of our customers come in and say they don't like IPAs, and then we give them an IPA and they like, wow, like that's really quite good. I would say don't limit yourself. If you visit a craft brewery, try all the beers that they have to offer. You might not like bitterness of some beers, but others aren't as bitter. And there certainly is a world of flavors out there to enjoy. So expand your horizons and try new things.
One question that I think I've heard a lot of people ask you, and I'm sure a lot of people are, I want to say dying to ask, but I'm sure no one's dying to ask this question, is where do you come up with the wacky beer names?
The wacky beer names. So a lot of the names are from things that I love, TV shows, bands, people, anything that I think sounds interesting and neat, it becomes a beer name. It's one of the harder things about the job that I find. I can come up with a million different recipes, but coming up with a name for each one of those recipes I quite struggle with. So
About the Halsey and the Hascaps.
Halsey and the Hascaps, maybe one day.
One day I'll make it to a beer.
Yeah.
So I know Sunset Bay is from our cousin Emily. We call our little camp Sunset Bay.
Yeah.
And Boissy Blonde is
Where our camp is located.
where you brewed your first blonde at camp.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions that you think, or answers to questions that you think people would have for you?
Yeah. One question that I get most often is how long does it take to make beer? And the answer is the brewing process takes about 6 to 8 hours, but the fermentation can take much longer, anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. Some sours we've had in our basement are coming up to like 2 or 3 years old. So it can very much range in time.
Well, thank you for sitting down with me
Thank
and
you.
answering some
Thank you.
questions. I'll try and find
Yeah.
something else fun to do.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, all. Cheers. Lanolin. Unique New York. Unique New York.
Unique New York. All right, guys, so from here, I'll take you on to where the actual magic happens.
Well, hello. Welcome.
Hello! I'm here live from the kitchen here at Stack Brew House, which opened in 2019. When we expanded, we moved from our Kelly Lake location, which still exists, but we moved into a bigger facility. So the brewery also became a brew house. And what that meant was that we were now prepared to offer a great culinary experience to all of our guests who wanted to come in and drink some brews with us. So Chef Nick Gignac helped build this place from the ground up, and he did an extraordinary job building a wicked menu that is just to die for if you've never come in. 947 Falconbridge, come check us out. But in the meantime, for this festival, Nick prepared a couple of recipes with super simple, at-home, easy ingredients that everybody has, and you can find them in your packages, that ingredient list. Hopefully you already checked that out, maybe got it ready. But he prepared a couple of snacks that literally take 2 or 3, 4 minutes tops to make, and they're delicious. I've tried them. So without further ado, Chef Nick's gonna show you how to make today's awesome feature. Let's go!
Hi everybody, it's Nick again. I'm going to walk you through our beer and cheese dip. You have to be sworn to secrecy because obviously everyone's going to try to copy it from this point forward. So if you want to kind of sneak a peek, I've got in a pan here some partially cooked bacon and also sweated onions. So basically on medium heat or so, you throw diced bacon into a pan, let it render out so you get some crispy components, and add your onions so that that flavor also is incorporated. And this is ready to go, basically added to our cheese mixture. Ideally it's not hot because then it melts it and all that jazz, but I want to use that so we can kind of expedite things a little bit. So I have cream cheese, room temperature, Parmesan and shredded cheddar. I'm using Le Cloche Belgian Blonde, but you obviously have the Sawdust City one. And then the pretzels, we're going to use that to dip in. Green onion is just to throw in for some color, so then my chefs at school won't give me a hard time. So let's get the ball rolling here. I'm going to fire the cheese into here right away, and then also the bacon and onion mix. You can take as much care as you wish. If you don't want to add a bunch of bacon grease, have at her, but fat is flavor, and you don't get to be my shape by cutting that stuff out. So we're gonna just mix this quickly. If you have a like a paddle attachment on a KitchenAid or anything like that, that would certainly expedite the process, but the one that we have is enormous, and I don't feel the need to use, you know, a cup of cream cheese to do that. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of beer. The rest of it's for me to drink. I suggest you do the same, right? And now we're just gonna add those green onions to continue our little mix. And that's it, guys. So from this point, if you have a lovely little serving jar or something like that, we go for a walk again, grab a spoon. We could scoop and serve into that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit and use a plastic tote container here. If you wanted it to be hot, now's the time to fire it into the microwave. You can put it in the oven if you really want to, but Chef Mike is obviously much faster. And then pretzel. Here, try.
Oh, thank you.
Bon appetit.
Relaxing, enjoying a beer on the couch. Is there nothing better? I'm sure you're doing it at home right now too. So cheers to that. I'm here at the lovely Stack Brew House at 947 Falconbridge, and we are really excited for the lineup that we put together for you for this MicroBrew Festival, the Cyber Edition. Again, we will be back to normal. We all know that, and without dwelling on that, we know that we'll be back for a MicroBrew Festival like you've never seen before in the future, like the years past. So get your dancing shoes ready, because we will bring it in style. But in the meantime, this is what we got, and you know what? I think it's friggin' awesome. So we're gonna travel to one of my favorite little breweries in the Muskokas in Gravenhurst, Sawdust City. Cheers, everybody.
Hey everybody, my name's Sam Corbet, brewmaster and co-founder of the Sawdust City Brewing Company, and welcome to the Sawdust City Saloon. We're here today to taste some beers for the 2021 Northern Ontario Micro Festival Cyberfest Edition. We've been coming to the Northern Festival for a number of years. It's one of my favorite festivals to attend. It's too bad we can't be there in person, but this I guess would be the next best thing. Every year it's one of those, you know, sort of springtime events that I really look forward to, going up to Sudbury. I went to school there, spent a lot of time, so I love getting up there and seeing everybody. It's always so much fun. You know, the last couple years, the festival, it's moved around a few times and we've been at every spot, and you know, it's sad that we won't be there in person, but we're going to taste some beers today, and hopefully this is a shared experience that we can talk about next year's festival when we all get together again. The two beers that we are presenting for this festival is Anticipation Is, which is a Belgian blonde ale, and the Princess Wears Girl Pants, which is a hoppy Belgian golden. Without further ado, we're going to taste some beers. Let's start with the lower ABV, which the Anticipation Is. So this year we lowered the ABV. When we first brought it, I think it was 7.7, and it was called Anticipation Is Freshly Zamboni'd Ice. The name was a bit of a mouthful, and the ABV was a bit of a mouthful, so we decided to cut both of them down. And now it's just called Anticipation Is ... and you know, you can sort of fill in whatever your anticipation is. We stuck with the hockey theme. Sandy, our label designer, made this super awesome label. I love it. You can sort of see the guy looking off to the left, sort of wondering what's coming next. Maybe it's his turn to jump on the ice. You know, it just looks, it's great. It's the exact personification of anticipation, and it's what we look for. For me, the anticipation of this beer was sort of seeing where we were going to take it this time. I really love this style of beer. It's such a simple recipe, but it's so flavor forward and aromatic. It's amazing what Belgian brewers for years have been coaxing out of simple recipes. So I had found this book called, it was a Belgian Beer Dictionary, and I've been reading it all summer, and you know, just sort of biting at the bit, trying to figure out what I was going to do next time we did this. And I think for me, the color's like spot on. It's really like this really clear golden color. It looks exactly like I wanted it to. The aromatics are there. We switched the yeast up. In the past, we'd used different Belgian yeast strains. This year, we went with the Achouf strain from White Labs. Really peppery, really phenolic. You get a lot of that sort of baked apple and baking spice, and put that bubblegummy flavor. I don't know if you've had La Chouffe before. It's one of my favorite Belgian strong goldens. Hops don't really play a huge role in this one. We wanted to let the yeast shine and sort of have that maltiness as well. It's a bit of a table beer, so we kept the ABV at that 6%. It sounds high for like a North American sort of ABV, but I think in terms of like where Belgian beer sits, it's kind of in that middle of the road, approachable, still digestible, as they say, to have with a meal. So let's crack it. God, now I'm thirsty. Talking all the time. So we can condition it again this year. So we remove the fermenting yeast before we move it over to the bright tank, and we spin it through the centrifuge. So you get that lovely, super clear golden color. And then we repitch a conditioning yeast, which doesn't add any extra flavor, just some carbonation with the extra sugar that we pitch. It looks exactly the way I sort of imagined, just that pale golden yellow. Big aromas of bubblegum and baked apple. A lot of spice. Next year, like every time I drink it, I think about the next time we're gonna make it, where the anticipation comes from. Because I think about next time I get to make this. Like, we don't do Belgians every year. We sometimes skip a year, or we take a year off and we come back to it, we think about it. So what I would do next time, I will kind of constantly tweaking this in my brain. As much as I like it, there's always room for improvement. And I think with this one, I might lower the ABV, the finishing gravity a little bit. It's a little bit heavier than I wanted, but still, it's nice to have with a meal. It's great to have on its own. Sort of just sit and enjoy. Yeah, enjoy it and let me know what you think. It's, like I said, a nice Belgian Golden, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we did. So I'm gonna finish this, and then we'll do a quick cut, come back and have the Princess Wears Girl Pants. So thanks very much. Until the next tasting, I'll be back in 1 sec. Cheers. Oh, hey there, didn't see ya. Welcome to Sawdust City. We're here at the Northern Micro Beer Festival, and let's go take a tour. Well, welcome everybody to our home, Sawdust City Brewing Company. We've been here since 2014. This is an old Canadian Tire that our owner Rob Engman purchased, and we turned it into a brewery. Little known fact, I actually bought my first bike at this Canadian Tire location when I was a kid, so it's a bit of a coming home again story. But now it's a brewery, and this is where we've been making all of our award-winning beers for the last 7 years. This is our brew house. We have a 4-vessel brew house that we purchased from DME from Prince Edward Island. It's our weapons of mass production, and in the next couple of weeks we'll be coming upon our 2000th brew here, and we'll be doing a special version of Lone Pine, so keep an eye out for that. We're actually brewing Lone Pine right now as we speak. A couple of our brewers are here finishing up a brew for the day. As you can see, it's a 4-vessel brew house. This is where the magic happens. Yeah, brewers aren't here, so they must be off doing brewer things. It's the end of the day, so we're sort of cleaning up. The floors look a lot cleaner than normal. We have our 13 fermenters. We all named them, they all have names. We got Derek and Sean and Riley, Brad and Haley. We sort of imagined a grade 3 class with some obnoxious names. And that's why we call them this. We never actually use their names, but it's fun anyways. This is our centrifuge. So after we've processed the beer, it goes through the centrifuge, and then it ferments. That really loud bang is what happens when beer gets processed through it. Then as we go, we've got our bright tanks over here, which is where we ferment the beers. Carbonate the beers, sorry. Too many princesses. Our canning line, which is off to the left. As the beer comes off the line, we get it ready. This was the retail section of the Canadian Tire when it was in operation until 2009, and just past here is the shipping receiving, which, as you might have noticed, is a great flow through for a brewery. So everything comes in there, passes through, and just like the Canadian Tire, all the beer gets out to the shipping and receiving dock, same way. We have our dry storage here of cans and malt and hops. And the last stop before it heads out, after it's been packaged, is our large fridge. So you can see we got tons of beer in here, getting ready to head to the LCBO, our parts unknown. So that right there is pretty much the quick and dirty tour of Sawdust City. We've seen where the beer is made, where it's packaged, and where it's stored. I can show you the retail shop, but I could also show you someplace that we don't always show everybody. You guys want to see the basement where we keep our barrels and the funky stuff that we usually do? You want to see that? All right, well then, I'll show you. Why don't we come with me to the basement? So here we are in the basement where we have all of our barrel storage. We have about 100 barrels down here. This is where we send the beer to age, and we've got a lot of Ontario wine barrels, and across there we have 6 punch-ins from a winery in California, and those house all of our Limberlost barrels. So this is native yeast from a forest just north of here in Huntsville, Ontario. It's our take on a lambic style brew, so completely spontaneous fermentation. We bring our wort out to a forest and then we ferment it in these barrels. We've been keeping that going for about 5 years, and we top them up like a Solera just to keep that unique Muskoka flavor and quality to it that you can't find anywhere else. We've got 2 exciting new Limberlost brews coming up this year, a Brun and a Blonde. So look out for those this summer. The rest of the barrels, we got, like I said, about 100 different barrels. They're all at different states and positions of fermentation and aging. We take notes, as you can see, with the notepads on each, letting us know when the barrels are ready, when we'll be tastings. No, this one's not ready yet. We do a lot of thorough tastings. Probably every couple months we'll come down and test each one to make sure everything's going according to Hoyle. You know, one of the unfortunate things about barrel aging beers is that you do lose a lot. You can see over there we had to do dump a few barrels because you know, sometimes the yeast goes in a different direction that you were expecting, and unfortunately you have to dump it. But that's you know, what it takes to make really quality barrel aged beers, is that you got to be able to, you know, you got to crack a few eggs to make an omelet, as they say. Anyways, this is an ongoing process, and you know, it's one that it's a bit of a labor of love. It's a lot of work, and you don't always get the results you want. But when you do and you hit the nail on the head, it's super exciting, and we're very proud to put out the barrel aged beers that we do. So look for a few this year, and now we'll go back upstairs and check out the retail. And here we are at the last part of our tour, the Sawdust City retail store. Behind me is our large retail fridge, which houses anywhere from 12 to 20 different varieties of beer that we make here throughout the year. Seasonals, core brands, what have you, collabs, and some vault beers. So next time you find yourself Gravenhurst way, stop in, say hi, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to get back up to Sudbury and have a pint together. So until next year, enjoy the Cyberfest, and we'll see you later. Thanks again, Sudbury. Cheers.
Hey everybody, this trivia is actually kind of tough. I mean, there's some easy ones, but there's some freaking hard ones, and I don't know what to do. So I'm pumped for the next round. Brendan from Nickel City Trivia here in Sudbury. Yeah, Nickel City Trivia shares its name with this awesome beer, Nickel City Light Lager from Stack. No big deal. Anyways, Brandon's gonna keep us going with some amazing trivia. So without further ado, take it away, buddy.
Hey everybody, this is Brendan Ray from Nickel City Trivia once again, and I am coming to you with the next round of trivia. For those of you who have done trivia with me before, probably already done this part, but it's the quickies. Everybody likes a quickie on a Saturday night. It's called the Stack Refinery Series. Basically, you want to name me the beer, the Stack Refinery Series beer, based off that description, and that's all I'm telling you. You don't need more hints than that. So name those beers, those Stack Refinery Series beers, based off the descriptions. You can work on that at any time. In fact, you've probably already done this, but if you haven't, go ahead and get that done. And with that said, I am popping out. I'm going to let you enjoy further things in tonight's entertainment, but I'll be back with more trivia shortly. Enjoy. Hey everybody, this is Brendan Roy from Nickel City Trivia. I hope you're enjoying yourselves tonight. I've got one more round of trivia for you. So let's do it. Let's get into this. So this is your general trivia part 2. I've got 5 questions from Cocktail Creations part 2, all the way down to how do you like it? So I'm going to ask you those questions, answer on your sheet, and I will come to you with some answers shortly. So number 1, Cocktail Creations part 2. What cocktail is made with equal parts gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth? So that's 1 ounce of gin, 1 ounce of Campari, and 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. What cocktail is that? What are you getting on number 1?
Hi, I'm Zach Stortini with the Sudbury Wolves. Under the category Have a Beer and Think, which letter of vitamin does beer contain high amounts of that helps concentration and metabolism?
Under the category Sign Me Up, Vikings believe that what a giant animal awaited them in Valhalla upon their death, who others provided an endless supply of beer. Under the category Sign Me Up, Vikings believe that what a giant animal awaited them in Valhalla upon their death, who others provided an endless supply of beer.
Number 4. In 2007, Scottish doctors diagnosed the world's longest hangover. A man came in having drank 60 pints over 4 days and was hungover for how long? So this is answer in weeks, whole weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, you get the gist. It's between 0 and 100. You got a pretty good chance on this. But how many weeks was the longest hangover? That's my question number 4. And number 5, according to Beer Canada, what accounted for 65% of national beer sales? Cans or bottles? What do we sell the most of? Cans or bottles is number 5. And with that, that is it for this round of trivia. If you haven't already done so, I'm just going to remind you to do that picture round. It's naming the beer or the drink, because we have something from Crosscut as well, based off those blocked out labels. Get those sorted out. I'm going to come to you with some answers very shortly. As always, I hope you're enjoying yourselves, and I'll see you in a bit with some answers.
Hey everybody, Troy here once again. Hope you guys are having a great time so far. These beers are coming in quick. Woo! Get those beer bellies ready, everybody, because you're about to fill them up. And I'm pretty sure that most of you don't have any of those beer bellies. Just maybe a little punch for today. Maybe just a little guy, right? Right? Or for you experienced vets who have the massive keg down there, good for you. I envy it. I know that during this whole lockdown, I've been growing one a bit, but I'm pretty sure if I drink some more of this, I'll definitely have one in me pretty soon. Yeah, so I guess we're gonna take it away to Hamilton now, to another personal favorite of mine. We're going down to Collective Arts. They make some fantastic product, and if you haven't heard of them, you gotta dive in because their whole branding is super cool. We're big fans of theirs, and always privileged and honored to partner up with them. So take it away, Collective Arts.
Hi, I'm Joey. I work over here at our Hamilton location. Welcome to Collective Arts. We're in one of our beautiful spaces right now to share this really delicious beer with you. The beer we're going to be talking about today is our Berry Banana Acai Granola Smoothie Sour. That's a mouthful, and it is a mouthful, but it is delicious. This can here features one of our artists from Ottawa. They're super cool. We've worked with them many different times in the past. This one here is by Joel McKenzie. You'll recognize some of his artwork if you are a Collective Arts fan. I'm going to be using a Hardworth Designs glass for my tasting today. And then we get all of this art by doing our really cool call for art. Our call for art is just an online digital portfolio that you submit to us, and right now we are in the middle of one. All you do is you go to our website, you just submit your portfolio, it goes through a panel of judges, and you could be on one of our super delicious beers. Now, let's take a look at this beer. Let's talk about all of its many working parts and how balanced and delicious it is. It is Berry Acai Banana Granola Smoothie Sour. The granola we made ourselves in-house. The berries is super balanced with the banana. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It's nice and flavorful, but you'd think that it would be outrageous, but it is so well balanced. Now let's open it up, let's crack this can, and let's get this show on the road. I can already smell it, even though I haven't even put it up to my face yet. It's so good. All right, look at that color. Beautiful, nice red colors. The head is there. It adds like a nice creamy finish to everything. Let's give our first smell. It should have a nice balanced berry. You should get lots of that banana, lots of that raspberry, like slight hints of that acai. The head isn't going to be as maintained. In this one, it should dissipate after a little while, but it should still replicate a nice, heavy, balanced nose. Oh, it just smells like banana. It's so good. I'd drink this for breakfast. Not gonna lie, my food pairing for this one, probably just any morning, wake up, have a smoothie sour. You don't need a protein smoothie, you just need a Collective Arts smoothie sour. Let's go for our drink. First drink, super delicious, nice creamy back. Starts with a full raspberry flavor. That mid is of bananas there, it's beautiful. Let's go for sip number 2. Still really good, really balanced. It's really clean. That banana really shines through and adds to that creaminess. Now we can start talking about that house-made granola. We made it ourselves, lots of oats, some brown sugar, lots of vanilla. Now we're starting to get that lactose feel. That lactose mouthfeel that everybody is always afraid of for some reason. But this one, so well balanced with that banana, that raspberry. It pours well. I'll pour it one last time. The nose, just beautiful the entire time that we're going. And one final sip of our Berry Banana Acai Granola Smoothie Sour. So good. This is part of our sour series. Every couple months we just decide to release a deliciously outrageous sour. We've previously had a collaboration with Stillwater Brewery where it was blueberry, chocolate, coffee, vanilla. It was unbelievable. We've had pomegranate grapefruit. We've had blackberry, cherry, lemon, vanilla, and lactose. All we do is we just make delicious sours and then release them every couple months just to keep people interested. Like I said, this delicious berry banana acai granola smoothie sour, canned by Joel McKenzie out of Ottawa. Come get us, we're at Collective Arts Hamilton. Thanks for coming out. My name's Joey. Have fun, drink your beers, enjoy everything. We're having a good time here in Hamilton. Hi, I'm Joey. I'm here at the Collective Arts Hamilton location. We are going to be tasting a beer today called Life in the Clouds. It is one of our core beers, a nice New England style IPA. We like to incorporate art and beer, so we do a call for art every couple months. Right now we are in the middle of a call for art, so you can go onto our website, you can access our call for art where you can submit your digital artwork, and then from there you go through a panel of judges and you can be selected to be on one of our cans. We will be taking a look at Life in the Clouds today. Like I said, it is a nice New England IPA, so let's get going. I'm going to be using a glass from one of our artists called Jin Jun Kim, so let's get tasting. So I pour it into our glass here. As you can see, it's got a nice soft head. It's a nice golden hue, nice and hazy. So I'm gonna take a sip now. You'll notice that it's not too harsh on your palate. It's nice and pillowy. It's very soothing. Subtle hints of like lemon balm almost. Nice melon background, lots of citrus. It's very thirst quenching. And then it's just a very enjoyable beer, no matter what time of year it is, whether we are drinking it in the middle of winter like we are right now, or you're drinking it on a patio in the summer. Either way, it's a nice, enjoyable beer with lots of melon and citrus notes, with a nice pillowy mouthfeel, nice aromas, and like a super gentle finish, as should be a traditional New England IPA. It has Simcoe and Mosaic hops in it, so you will find that those come out really, really, really well. Just to end off this tasting, I would like to give you a quick little food pairing and then some other suggested items that we have in our catalog. If you like this New England IPA, we do have another one. It's a double New England IPA. It's called Good Monster. It's going to have those really nice finishing, but it is a high percentage one, but it drinks like it's 5%. Super crushable. For food, I would suggest drinking this on a nice patio, eating a nice big hamburger, sharing and enjoying time with your friends. If you're not into a hamburger or you are a vegetarian, my suggestion for this pairing for you would be something that is a little bit greasy just to even out this. So if we're talking like French fries, sweet potato fries, anything that is a little bit crisp, that can just counteract this nice soft IPA. I really hope that you enjoyed drinking your beer with me. I hope that you find those subtle hints, and I hope you find those very gentle mouthfeel and just enjoy the beer. And you can come and check us out in Hamilton. We're Collective Arts Brewing. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm standing here in front of the Canadian Blood Services Center here in Sudbury, and this is pretty cool considering that we have the only plasma-only donation center in all of Canada. That is an incredible task, Sudbury, for us to jump in and donate, because currently we're sitting at like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like 10 or 20% of the plasma volume needed for the country. We have to outsource to the states to get plasma, and it costs a lot of taxpayer dollars. So we decided as a nation to start building these centers, and lo and behold, Sudbury has the first ever Canadian plasma only donation center. I try to donate once a week. I highly encourage you guys do too. There's going to be info here below on the screen letting you know where to donate, how to donate. But yeah, tell you a little bit more about this. Here's the team. Cheers.
Hello, my name is Jean-Paul Bédard. I'm the Vice President of Plasma Operations at Canadian Blood Services. Today, I'm very excited to share with you that we've opened our new state-of-the-art Plasma Donor Center in Sudbury. For the last few months, we've been collecting plasma at our old blood donor facility. Starting this week, we're now at 900 LaSalle Boulevard. I'm very excited to share this news because this is the first of 3 centers that we will be building in the Canadian landscape. We've chosen Sudbury for many reasons. There's a large community that's been supporting us with blood donations over the year, and we're confident that donors will transition to plasma donations and come to our center in big numbers. Also, there's this sense of community in Sudbury that we really rely on, and up until now, we've been very successful in transitioning our blood donors to become plasma donors. Important to know that the plasma that we'll collect in Sudbury will be transformed into medicines that are life-saving for Canadians, and these medicines will be made available to Canadians. As we stand right now today, we just don't collect enough plasma to meet all the needs of Canadians. So Sudbury will be the first center that we open on our journey to extend our sufficiency of plasma in the Canadian marketplace.
We're marking a significant milestone for Canadian Blood Services. On December 1st, 2020, the doors opened to a brand new plasma donor center in Sudbury, Ontario. In the spirit of our organization's values, which include integrity and respect, we begin our events by acknowledging the traditional territory on which we're gathered. I would like to acknowledge the Atakamakshing Anishinaabe, whose traditional territory this new site is built on. Recognizing traditional territory in this way is a formal expression of appreciation for Indigenous cultures across Canada. I would like to take this opportunity to especially acknowledge the extraordinary dedication shown by employees who've worked tirelessly amid challenging circumstances to get us to this milestone. Collecting more plasma will help the thousands of patients in Canada who depend on donated plasma for their care.
In 2019, with the support of our provincial and territorial government partners, we launched a really important program, and that was a program to begin to collect more plasma in Canada from unpaid donors to serve domestic needs for plasma-derived therapies. The global demand for plasma continues to increase, and we need more plasma in Canada under our control to better ensure security of supply for Canadian patients whose lives and well-being depend on important plasma therapies. Canadian Blood Services is really proud to be opening the first of 3 standalone dedicated plasma centers here in Sudbury, Ontario. This could not have happened without the incredible support of the employees who have made this come to life, and of course the donors in Sudbury who have willingly signed up to become regular and committed plasma donors. To all of you, our donors, our employees, our volunteers, you're a hugely important part of Canada's lifeline, and I thank you. Keep it up and keep up the great work.
7 years ago, I was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome. Your immune system believes it's being attacked, so it then counterattacks and just destroys your entire nervous system and all the nerves, basically the myelin sheath that protects the nerves. It's unable to communicate the brain to the body, and you end up paralyzed. With the blood plasma and the IVIG, kind of resets everything. I received 5 hours a day for 5 straight days of the blood plasma. Without this, the lifeline stops, basically. and it stops for a lot of people. And if people don't get involved and people don't volunteer and people don't donate, Canada's lifeline will be lost. So if we can keep it going and keep it stronger and build on it, everybody's going to be stronger for it, the country and everyone. And I just thank everybody that gets involved. I think that's one thing that's lost in these things when people donate and volunteer. It's the effect that they have on numerous people and not just the one person that receives that. I just try to spend as much time as I can with my family and try to hold on to everything I have. It was 50-50 for me when I even got out of the hospital whether I'd walk again, and now I am, and things are great, and I feel very fortunate.
I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to Canadian Blood Services on opening the very first plasma donor center in Sudbury, Ontario. This is an exciting moment for our healthcare system and for patients across Ontario and Canada. This innovative state-of-the-art center will support the growing need for plasma in patient care and help patients across the country access donated plasma and medications made from the proteins found in plasma. This center is the beginning of a much larger effort to address the need for plasma across the country, and we're very pleased that you chose Ontario to be part of this journey. I also want to take this opportunity to extend my deepest appreciation to Canadian Blood Services for your dedication to protecting the health and well-being of all Canadians. During these unprecedented times, your efforts have ensured that patients across Ontario have access to life-saving blood and blood products when they need them. Ontario has a strong commitment to working with Canadian Blood Services and our partners across the country in continuing to maintain the security and safety of the Canadian blood system. We are proud to call Canadian Blood Services partners in our healthcare system. So once again, congratulations on this exciting milestone.
Donating plasma can save a life, just like you do when you're giving blood. We encourage you to visit our website, download our app, and book an appointment to become a plasma donor. Please come and see us at 900 LaSalle. We're waiting for you. Thank you.
How y'all doing? Hey, listen. The time went on for the weekend because it's a celebration. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to feel it. I know, actually, I'm beyond more than starting to feel it. I'm sure that we're all on a pretty good pace right now. But let's not get sleepy. No one gets sleepy, okay? Can't. That being said, we are gonna travel to Thunder Bay, which is a city I adore. I love going there, especially for the Brewha Festival. If you've ever attended a beer festival and you thought it was awesome, well, you ain't seen nothing yet until you go to the Thunder Bay Brewha Festival. Always a highlight of the calendar. But yeah, we're not getting sleepy. We're going to Thunder Bay to visit Sleeping Giant, who happen to be one of the best breweries around. So dive into some pints. Let's go to Thunder Bay.
Okay, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be watching this video. My name is Avery Henderson. I'm the lead brewer here at Sleeping Giant Brewing in Thunder Bay, Ontario. I'm here to talk to you about offering number one of the Stack MicroBrew beer package the beer that we sent down. So, this one is our Craft Cares Blackcurrant Ale. It's called Craft Cares because it's part of our a charity drive or charity initiative where we get all of our licensees who want to be involved to pick a charity of their choice. They will, and then they'll sell the Craft Cares, and then every 50 cents of every beer goes towards that charity. This is the third year we've run it. So far, we've raised in those 3 years almost $30,000 for all the different charities. This is the second year we've made a specific beer for this event. So it's a dry ale because it's fermented down to 0 specific gravity, which essentially means it's almost the consistency of water. but it's not. It's actually still pretty full bodied because of the added fruit to it, blackcurrant. But it's very easy drinking for 6.1%. And 17 IBUs, it's not very hoppy, bitter at all. But it also has been dry hopped with CyberBrew and El Dorado hops, so it gives it kind of a tropical fruit along with some raspberry notes to it. But the obvious bit to it is the blackcurrant. So yeah, that's offering number 1 from Sleeping Giant, the Craft Cares 2021 Blackcurrant Ale. Also, if you have friends or family that are not partaking in the MicroBrew Festival and do not have a can of this delicious brew, you can get it online at sleepinggiantbrewing.ca, and it's $15 flat rate shipping all across Ontario, and we have plenty in stock. You can't see it because it's directly behind me, but yeah, absolutely go online and put an order in, and you can get this right to your door.
Hi, I'm Kevin from Sleeping Giant Brewing Company in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and I'd like to welcome you to MicroBrew Festival 2021. We're excited to be a part of this year's virtual party. I'm here to take you on a virtual tour of our brewery and tell you a little bit about us. Sleeping Giant Brewing Company was founded in 2012, and the ideas and philosophies behind opening a brewery at the time were simple: create a craft beer culture in Thunder Bay and make good beer. A lot has changed since then, but those ideas have stayed the same. We currently operate in a 12,000 square foot building in the heart of Thunder Bay. We brew on a 15 hectoliter, 4-vessel system. We also have 13 fermenters and 4 bright tanks, which gives us a ton of flexibility for creating new beers and making sure our selection has something for everyone. Having great ingredients also go a long way for us. We are lucky enough to be able to brew with some of the freshest water in the world by using Lake Superior water, and our malt comes directly from Canada Malt, which is less than 2 kilometers away from the building, which I would say is the equivalent of going to the farmer's market to get your produce. We're serious about making beer, and we want to make sure that our customers know that too. We pride ourselves on quality, and we've invested in it. For starters, we house our grain in our new silo that stands just over 30 feet tall. Why is that important? Well, it greatly improves our efficiencies, but more importantly, it makes life for our brewers a little bit easier. Despite the challenges that 2020 presented, we were still able to do some really great work. In 2020, we brewed 5,900 hectoliters of beer, which roughly translates to just over 1.2 million cans of beer. We're also able to produce 104 hectoliters of hand sanitizer to help out our city of Thunder Bay. On top of all of that, we were able to donate just over $13,000 to local charities and schools within our community. In 2019, we opened a really unique space to hold events, but also to start some fun barrel-aged beer projects. We currently have almost 24 various barrels, like red wine, bourbon, tequila, where we house beers for months at a time. In 2020, we launched 5 different offerings and currently just launched our first one of the year with a Belgian Golden Strong aged tequila barrels. We host a number of events at Sleeping Giant. Weddings, birthday parties, baby showers, and everything in between, we've had it here. We have been lucky to be a part of so many people's special days and look forward to being able to do that again really soon. Our taproom is almost unlike any other you've been in. We have a large selection of beer, usually ranging from about 15 to maybe even 20 different options to choose from. Something for everyone, we like to say. Our mezz is likely where you find the best seat in the house, where you can see a bird's eye view of everything going on in the brewery, but also if you turn around you can see a number of beers that we've enjoyed over the years from our friends and breweries around the world. I'm sure there's even a few from our friends that stack on that wall as well. When you walk into our building, you're walking right into our retail space. We are proud to offer a huge selection of beer to take home. At any given time, you'll have the options from at least 12 and sometimes as many as 20 different beers. We think variety is the spice of life and always want to make sure there's an option for you. We typically have 473 milliliter cans, 500 milliliter bottles, and of course, freshly filled growlers. We also have a number of items for sale in our taproom as well. You can find dozens of items ranging from beer soap, t-shirts, glassware, scented candles, beer bread kits, you name it, we have it. We think it's important to partner with as many local companies as possible. The collaboration and community that we build along the way is what helps us have a deep-rooted relationship with our city that we are extremely proud of. One of the unique items we're really proud of is our collaboration with Heartbeat Hot Sauce, the pineapple habanero hot sauce that uses our Beaver Duck Session IPA as an ingredient. It's cool to be a part of something so big. This sauce has even been on season 10 of Hot Ones. You'll also be able to find our newest version of Craft Carry's beer, Blackcurrant Ale, where a portion of the proceeds from the sale of this beer will be donated to local charities and organizations within our community. Both of these items and everything you see in the video can be found in our retail store online. I hope you've enjoyed our virtual tour of our brew. We hope that someday soon we will host you for a pint, but in the meantime, enjoy this fun-filled weekend put on by Stack. Thank you to Stack Brewhouse for the invitation and everyone for participating. We hope that you've enjoyed the beers that we picked out for you. Have a great weekend and cheers.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're here at Science North, which is like literally my favorite place to come when I was a little kid. I still do it as an adult. Once all this COVID crap is done there, Sean, everybody's got a drink. I said COVID. Once this nonsense is done, we strongly advise you guys come back and enjoy Science North. It's a great place to bring your kids. If you're from out of town and you want to come check out CyberBrew, this is do not miss on your list. They've been great all weekend for giving us some live entertainment with some wicked science experiments. And yeah, let's knock another one out of the park for you. Enjoy some science, guys.
This is Alan. Alan's an intern at Science North. That means we make him do the things the rest of us don't want to do. But don't worry, Alan, because today, all you have to do is drink as fast as you can. Let's start with that bottle of water. Oh, don't worry, it's just normal water. Go ahead, see how fast you can drink it. Not bad. For an intern. Let's compare that to the world record. Huh. Less than a second, really? Wonder how he did that. Well, please don't try that at home for obvious reasons. The reason that guy is so much better and cooler than Alan is that he's trained himself to drink without swallowing. He can open his throat up and let the liquid go straight into his esophagus, like a duck. Alan, stop trying to be a duck. That's what allows professional speed drinkers to drink so much faster than us mere mortals. But chugging a beer is a lot harder than water. Why? Well, for one thing, it's normally colder. But how much slower would you be chugging ice-cold water? That sounds like something for an intern to find out. As he drinks that ice-cold bottle of water, his body is responding to the sudden decrease in temperature. Blood vessels are expanding in his mouth in order to warm it up, and the blood vessels in his meninges, that's the membrane between your brain and your skull, are expanding in kind. This leads to a condition called sphenopalatine ganglioneuralgia, or as we know it, brain freeze. But beer isn't just colder, it's carbonated as well. That means it has thousands of little CO2 bubbles. In beer or soft drinks, that fizz is key. It also turns water into sparkling water. Does Alan like sparkling water? No, he does not. Bottoms up, Alan. Carbonation often feels like burning because the carbon dioxide in the bubbles dissolve in your throat to form carbonic acid. The faster you drink, the more acid builds up and there's less time to neutralize it. But beer is a lot more than cold carbonated water. If you add hops, barley, and yeast, brewed to perfection right here in the north, you get a refreshing Stack beer. And how fast can you chug one of those? No one knows, because Stack beers weren't made to be chugged. They were made to be savored, one refreshing sip at a time. That'll do, intern. That'll do. And as always, please savor responsibly.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Discovery Theater. My name is Melissa, and I'm super excited to be here today for the Northern Ontario MicroBrew Festival, CyberBrew edition. When we were asked to do a few experiments, I wasn't really sure if we were going to get a chance to get into the theater, whether I was going to be doing some science from my kitchen, but I'm happy to be here and to bring you a little science demonstration. So, the demonstration that I picked today, I thought I'd go thematically. I'm here from Suds, representing Suds, I'm gonna give you some suds while you drink your suds. It's gonna be great. So I've got a little bit of liquid nitrogen here, which again, I wasn't sure I was going to get to acquire, but it was great, I did. I've got a party bucket, a little bit of water, a little bit of soap. Let's see. Now I just finished doing like something for schools here, and I told all the kids that I was really excited to get to do a countdown. So I'm gonna tell all the adults out there, enjoying their brews, enjoying their suds, missing doing countdowns. So I do a little 3, 2, 1 before I launch these suds. 3, 2, 1. Boy, I sudsed up real good. I sudsed up so good. I'm so clean now. It's gonna be great. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed getting a little sudsed up.
Hey everybody, Troy again here. Are you drunk? Not that we promote that. We're not promoting excessive alcohol consumption. But we hope you're getting nice and rip-toddied a bit, you know, for the boys and gals. Just have a good old time. So weekend. Our equipment's turning on right now, hence that loud noise. But we're here between the mash tun and the boil kettle. You know, the gateway to all beer starts with these guys. So this is, yeah, literally the gateway to beer creation. Speaking of gateway, one of my favorite little breweries in the area. I'm a huge fan of everything that Sully and his team over at Gateway City in North Bay are pumping out. Great stuff. Definitely strongly advise you guys check them out if you're looking for some new beer that you haven't tried yet. North Bay's making some great quality stuff. So yeah, Sully and the boys and the girls are gonna take it away now. Gateway City, everybody. Cheers.
Introducing the Dysfunctional Malt from Gateway City Brewery. This beer comes in at 5.6% ABV with an IBU of 30. It contains German Pilsner malt, German rye malt, as well as flaked rye. This beer utilizes one hop both in the boil and in the dry hopping stage. That hop is Hallertau Mittelfrüh. We use a German lager yeast to give it a nice, clean, crisp finish. The beer pours a light gold color with a nice white head. Expect a bouquet of sweet citrus, floral, and herb on the nose. On first sip, you'll find similar flavors as well as a slight earthy hit from this noble German hop. The body is slightly bready with a pleasant spice finish from the rye. My gateway city is the Dysfunctional Mall.
So, you know, we've been doing crazy things all weekend. I mean, we've had amazing Science North experiments, as you've seen. We've had some cool spotlights on some local things that are going around town, some businesses, you know, Sudbury tourism, really trying to show you guys what this city's all about. We've also had some cool music from, you know, this guy who apparently has a resemblance to me. I don't see it, but whatever. Pretty good, I guess. Tron, yeah, he's all right. But yeah, what my personal favorite thing though that we've been doing has been trivia. I love trivia. I live for trivia. Always been super nerdy with it, but I know that there's a bunch of you out there who are the same as me. And Brendan from Nickel City Trivia has been delivering it all night and all weekend actually. It's been fun, and you know, thank you, Brendan, for all your hard work that you put into this festival. We truly appreciate it. He's also a huge fan of Stack, which is awesome. But I guess, you know, finally the last to give that some answers. Brandon from Nickel City Trivia. Thanks, buddy.
Hey everybody, this is Brendan Roy from Nickel City Trivia one last time. And I'm coming to you with the answers. This is the moment you've been waiting for, where you can turn to your friends and say, I told you so, you idiot. So let's see how we did on all these rounds. The answers can be recorded on the top right corner. Everything is 1 point each. The entire thing is out of 25, with the prize being bragging rights, which is worth more than its weight in beer Arguably, maybe. So let's get you some answers on round number 1, the multiple choices. So number 1 was titled Screech, and I was looking for the province that drinks the most beer. The answer to that is, of course, Newfoundland. So Newfoundland is the answer on that one. So number 2, our next one on that is called Cocktail Creations. I was asking you for what of those 4 ingredients out of gin, simple syrup, champagne, and vermouth do not appear in a French 75. That is vermouth. You are not going to find vermouth in a French 75. Number 3, moose-related beers. This one still oddly makes me mad sometimes. But moose-related beers. Stacked Shatter Cone beer, their IPA, used to be named Friendly Moose. So Friendly Moose had to be changed. It became Shatter Cone, but it's originally Friendly Moose. Is number 3. Number 4, hop to it. The country that produces the most hops is the United States. Yay, America. United States is the answer on number 4. And number 5, speaking of hops, out of Cascade, Super Saiyan, Falconer's Flight, and Chinook, Super Saiyan is the one of those that is not a hop. Super Strian is, but Super Saiyan is not. So anyways, that is round number 1, 1 point each. Which brings us to round number 2, which was your general trivia. Number 1 was the mayor of brewing. What city did Alexander Keith become their 4th ever mayor? That is Halifax. Halifax is the answer number 1. Number 2, Das Boots. The tradition of drinking beer out of boots comes from soldiers during World War I. So World War I would have been the answer on number 2. A little bit of history for you. Number 3, pure and simple. The 4 core ingredients out of beer that came out of the Bavarian purity law are barley malt, hops, yeast, and water. I'm going to get a quarter point on each of those. So cheap, Brendan. A quarter point for barley malt, quarter point for hops, quarter for yeast, quarter for water, for a total of 1 point, because that's how math works. Number 4, more beer, please. Not all drinks are made equal. If you were to order a pint in Canada, you get more beer than a pint in the States. Yay, us. So Canadian pint is 20 ounces and American is 16 ounces. Number 5, Golden Clarity. The first pale lager, or the first style of light pale lager, is a Pilsner from the town of Pilsen. So Pilsner is the answer on number 5. Which brings us to our quickies. We're looking for the Stack Refinery series. Name the beer based off their description. The Deep Black Imperial Stout is Helter Skelter. So number 1 is Helter Skelter. Number 2, the Blonde Ale with Habanero. It's one of my favorite Stack beers, in case anyone's listening. That's how you can bribe me. That's Grano Picante. Grano Picante Ale is number 2. Number 3, the Finnish Ale with a piney resonance is Birch. Birch is the answer on number 3. Number 4, the winter warmer with cinnamon is Apres-ski. Apres-ski is that one. And number 5, the Belgian triple with champagne. Okay, champagne, like a normal person. With champagne yeast, or the New Year Belgian triple, as I put it on your sheet. That is Ball Drop. Ball Drop is the answer on number 5. So 1 through 5, we had Helter Skelter, Grano Picante, Birch, Apres-ski, and Ball Drop. That brings us to our second last round, our general trivia part 2. Number 1, the cocktail made using equal parts gin, Campari, and sweet vermouth is a Negroni. Negroni is the answer on number 1 in general trivia part 2. Number 2, the vitamin that beer has a lot of is vitamin B. Or the B vitamins, the B family, B1, B2, and B6 are all present in beer. B for beer. That's number 2. Number 3, the giant animal that awaits Vikings in Valhalla with udders full of beer is a goat. Sounds like the greatest of all time. Goat. Anyways, the answer is goat on number 3. Number 4, brutal hangovers. The longest hangover ever lasted for 4 weeks. The guy didn't even know he was hangover. He thought he was sick. He went to the hospital. He was like, no, you're just hungover for 4 weeks. Number 5, how do you like it? 65% of national beer sales are in cans. Cans is the answer on number 5. Those are worth 1 point each, which brings us to our last round. That is the picture round. We're going to look at these left to right. That first one, that is Expansion, the stacked sour IPA. After that, from Sleeping Giant, we have Whiteout. From Lake of the Woods, one of my favorites up in Kenora. That is their Lakeside Kolsch. Lakeside is the answer number 3. Sawdust City, we have Everyday Magic. And the 5th one, that is from Crosscut. That is their Local Harvest Gin, if you recognize that bottle. So left to right, we have Expansion, Whiteout, Lakeside, Everyday Magic, and Local Harvest Gin. Those are worth 1 point each. You can total the entire thing out of 25. You can now turn to your friends and say, I'm a trivia host. No, I'm a trivia host. You're a trivia master. That's what I meant to say. You're all trivia masters. You all done very good stuff. More importantly, though, I hope you had a lot of fun. As a reminder, I host trivia weekly, either at the townhouse or virtually. I also do private events for like work gatherings, birthday parties, things like this, all kinds of stuff. So if you enjoyed yourself tonight, if you enjoyed trivia in general and you'd like to do more, there's lots of ways to keep playing with Nickel City Trivia. So definitely let me know. Send me a message. And all my info is there. I'd love to hear from you. And we'll get you doing some trivia in no time. So once again, thank you so much for participating. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you had lots of really great beers tonight. And I look forward to seeing you all in the future. Have a good night. Take care. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, welcome back, guys. I'm here to introduce our next beer. I'm lying on some lovely black rocks that were stained from mining practices way back when they had their roast beds and stuff like that, when they weren't too environmentally conscious. So the rocks are stained black, and our next beer is named after that to kind of tie in some of the Sudbury kind of history, Black Rock. So it's a Canadian gold medal winning North American style black lager. So it's a nice combination of two styles of beer. Brendan talked to you about already. So here's Black Rock.
Hey guys, Brendan McDonald here from Sack Brewing, and we're super excited to bring you another one of our beers for the MicroBrew Festival that we're going to be hosting. So this guy right here is our Black Rock Black IPA. Super happy about this beer. We actually just received gold at the Canadian Brewing Awards last year for American Style Black Ale, so big kind of exciting news for us, very stoked about it. And just gonna give you guys a quick rundown on why we name it this beer, some of the style guidelines, exactly what makes it an American Style Black Ale, and yeah, we'll get right into detail. So Black Rock, big staple of the Sudbury community. A long time ago, before the smokestack systems actually had filtration, it would actually pour out into the environment, and it stained a lot of the rocks around the surrounding area black. Basically because of the high sulfur content, everything kind of settled out and sort of gave us this, some would say wonderful, some would say otherwise, but I think it's pretty cool, super black landscape that we have here today. And we decided to name a beer after it because it pays such good homage to exactly what Sudbury is. So digging right into it, the American Style Black Ale is typically super dark in color, obviously as stated by the name, medium to high hop aroma, hop bitterness, and you want a touch of roastiness to this beer too. No chocolate, no kind of coffee tones, but just kind of roastiness to it, and I think we did a good job of nailing that. So let's dig right into this one. So you can kind of see right off the hop, it's going to pour a nice, almost jet black, fairly clear, a little bit of brown tones to it, only when the light hits it properly, but overall nice and jet black, super creamy, almost coffee cream style foam to it. Overall, just really nice and present, very nice beer. So yeah, like I said, digging right into it. The aroma on this guy, like I said, we gave a really good hop boost to this with the dry hop, so you're gonna get a lot of pine, citrus, a little bit of floral notes to it, and just a touch of that roast from the dark grain that kind of gives it that wonderful aroma that we're looking for. So jump right into the flavor characters of this guy. Oh yeah, definitely on the firm side. So this is 6.6% alcohol by volume, 55 IBU. So you do get that kind of firm bitterness on the background from that hop content, and a very subtle roastiness from the dark malts that we decide to add to it. Overall, super well balanced, super crisp, easy drinking, but definitely reminds you that it is a bigger beer. Kind of a creamy mouthfeel. Overall, just a really wonderful beer. So. Jumping into the brewing side of it, of how I actually developed this style of beer, we pretty well go with a base grain of Pilsner. There's a little bit of Maris Otter in there, an English style malt that gives it sort of a touch more sweetness than your Pilsner that you'll find. We add a blend of caramel malts to bring out a little bit more of that sweetness, and then we smash it with a good amount of roasted barley, in a sense. Super dark, super black. You don't need a lot of that stuff. Just enough to really give it that color tone without impeaching too much on that hop aroma flavor. So, you know, overall, like I mentioned, really well balanced, has that nice dark tone to it and wonderful hop aromas. So we're super happy to bring this beer to you guys, and I hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
All right, thank you everyone who joined us coming in from Friday in the Baller Passes, and today was Saturday, and then the Saturday Festival goers. Maybe this is going to be like the Penn and Teller thing that I did to Troy on the Friday night. Thank you. When I didn't say anything, I just kind of looked at him.
Oh no, I'll talk. I'll make sure I talk.
He likes to talk. Yeah, we're right here at the Kelly Lake retail location. You got the kind of like our knick-knack wall of history of beer in Sudbury. So again, big thank you. Hopefully this is our first and last virtual. It was fun to do. I'm sure everyone else had a good time, but we're really looking forward, please, that we can have our MicroBrew Festival next year at the Caruso Club. Again, live music, see people in person. So that's what the goal is with everyone during this gray zone and lockdown. Everyone stay safe, stay healthy.
You mentioned lockdown, that's a drink.
That's a drink. I didn't say the C word. Yeah, so again, big thank you. Thank you for supporting your Ontario craft breweries. That's the main thing. Support your local restaurants and support your local breweries. Please and thank you.
And on that note, for those of you who are in Sudbury, or even the people from out of town who saw the videos of Sudbury Tourism who want to come have a look, at our 947 location, we are opening up. We're letting the cat out of the bag here. Sudbury's first ever beer garden.
Yes.
We're gonna make this a thing. It's gonna be Oktoberfest all summer long at Stack Brew House. We're pumped about that. Still a couple things we got to check off, but keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, thanks to all the breweries, and thank you. You guys rock. This was amazing. Sean,
chapeau to you guys.
Cheers.
Hey everybody, welcome back one more time for some tunes to finalize this show. It's Tron fucking Blow and it's 80s time. Are you ready? MicroBrew, are you ready? Thank you all for taking time to be here with us on this unprecedented weekend of virtual microbrewness. I mean, it's crazy. Times are nuts. Nothing like this has ever been done in this province before. Kudos to Stack. Thank them for inviting me. I know that you guys have a beer in your hand right now. It's probably a Black Rock Black IPA gold medal winning standard across Canada. Yes, at the Canadian Brewing Awards. Big ups to Stack Brewing for making that happen. Big ups to Stack Brewing for welcoming me, a peasant Tron Funkenblow from the 80s, here to gyro up your loins and your feelings and make y'all feel great inside. So we're gonna end off this night with some brews and some 80s tunes. Are you ready? MicroBrew Festival, I said, are you ready? Well, let's go. Oh, you're shaking that can, let's go. Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I wanna say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. Oh, I don't wanna lose your love tonight. Yeah! I ain't got many friends left to join. trouble. No, I'd do anything for you. You know, I live with me undercover. I just want to use your love tonight. Yeah, I don't want to lose your love tonight. I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are too. We had some great beers. We had some great laughs, great science experiments, great trivia. Now let's wrap up this night with a bang, you know. I try to dry my hands from shaking. Something in my mind's not making sense. It's been a while since we've been alone. I can't hide the way I'm feeling. As you leave alone, please just close the door. And don't forget what I told you. Just 'cause you're right, that don't mean I'm wrong. Another shoulder to cry upon. I just want to lose your love tonight. Yeah, I don't want to lose your love tonight. I just want to use your love tonight. Yeah, I don't want to lose your love tonight. Oh, I just want to use your love tonight. I don't want to lose your love tonight. Yeah. Oh man, we're having a good time, aren't we, Sudbury? Yeah. Aren't we Northern Ontario? Yeah. Aren't we all of Ontario? Yeah. Oh man. All right, well, I got a couple more tunes for you to ride the night out with here. Let's see. What should I do for the people, you know? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this. You know, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. Okay. Let's go. Actually, you know what? Let's go. Let's do it this way. I decided I'm going to do it like this. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I'm just finicking around my screen and all that. It's kind of messy, you know? Okay. 80s. If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. I don't know why I did the things that I did. I don't know why I said the things that I said. Looks like a knife, it can cut deep inside. Words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. Oh, I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you'd love me, love me, love me like you used to do. If I could turn back time, if I could turn back, I don't know why I said the things that I said. I don't know why I did those things that I did. Like a knife, baby, cuts deep inside. Words are like weapons, they wound sometimes. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, take back those words that hurt you, and you would stay. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me, love me, love me like you used to do. If I could turn back time, if I could turn back time, if I could turn back time. I didn't really mean to hurt you. I didn't want to see you go. I know I made you cry, but baby, if I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that hurt you, and you'd stay. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me, love me, love me like you used to do. Share, everybody. All right. I'm going to do one more and then we're all done for the night. Oh, yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Oh, thank you, man. Tron Funk and Blow here. Play some 80s for all y'all. Okay. Okay. Oh, this song's in A again. Ah, there we go. Here's some Robert F. and Palmer for you. You like to roam, but you're not home. Your mind is not your own. Your heart sweats, your body shakes. Another kiss is what it takes. You can't sleep, you can't eat. There's no doubt you're in deep. Your throat is tight, you can't breathe. Another kiss is all you need. Whoa. You like to think that you're immune to this stuff. Oh yeah. Oh, it's closer to the truth. This can't get enough, 'cause you're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to love. You see the signs you can't read. You're running at full speed. Your heart beats in double time. Another kiss, and you'll be mine. One track mind. You can't be saved. Oblivion is what you crave. There's some left for you. You don't mind if you do. Oh, you like to think that you're immune to the stuff. Oh yeah. What's closer to the truth is can't get enough. You know you're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Man, it's been a blast being here tonight. And yesterday night, with everybody here, enjoying a Sudbury Saturday night, and a Sudbury Friday night, and a Sudbury weekend across Ontario! All these amazing beers. Thank you to all the breweries. Thank you to all the volunteers. But most importantly, thank you to you. Yeah, you like to roam, but you're not home. Your will is not your own. Your heart sweats, your teeth are grind. Another kiss, and you'll be mine. Whoa. Ladies, what's closer to the truth is can't get enough. You know you're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Everybody, might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Give me those claps. Might as well face it. You're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Keep 'em coming. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Let's go. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Might as well face it, you're addicted to love. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers!